See, my life is been in motion. I'm a little windy. I'm not giving up yet. If you with me, time to place up your bet. Ain't no turning back, got niggas who ran. When we caught his ass, got caught in that jam. Yeah, you know who I am. Yeah, you know who I am. I can feel it coming. I can feel it coming. Is that feeling in your stomach? You can feel it coming. Is that feeling in your stomach? You can feel it coming. Yeah, you can feel it coming. Fake love, that snake you in your face, love. That snake you in your face, love. I told my brothers we gon' make it, that's how God wrote it. And the snake gon' show his face, cause that's how God wrote it. Too much fake love, that snake you in your face, love. Your face, love. That snake you in your face, love. I told my brothers we gon' make it, that's how God wrote it. And the snake gon' show his face, cause that's how God wrote it. Too much fake love, that snake you in your face, love. Your face, love. That snake you in your face, love. I told my brothers we gon' make it, that's how God wrote. And the snake gon' show his face, cause that's how God wrote.
Suave on the track.
Whatever it takes. The Hollywood.
Coco, this your season right now.
They won't see me. They won't let me hear. I gotta sleep with one eye open, trippin' making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the odds wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid. Yeah. I won't let them yeah. They won't see me yeah. I gotta sleep with one eye open, trippin' making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the odds wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid. Yeah. I can't let them yeah. They won't see me yeah. I put attention, all of my blood, all of my veins. They started with perky, now that hair right numb his veins. You started with serving, now them drugs drove you insane. Started with dealing, I grew up with killers, they taught me the game. I got some niggas that die behind, and that shit won't never the same. I know some niggas that lie behind, and that bullet had his name. Ain't no reason to cry about, cause that shit won't never change. MTF the 4th and P, my niggas can't get out the game. I gotta sleep with one eye open, trippin' making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the stern. I know the odds wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid. Yeah. I won't let them yeah. They gon' see me yeah. I gotta sleep with one eye open, trippin' making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the stern. I know the odds wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid. Yeah. I can't let them yeah. They gon' see me yeah.
Lost, see, I glossed through, we shit ain't been the same. Heard the ops talking to the feds, giving names. Who gon' feed my family if they take me out the game? Keep one in the head and one eye open, that ain't change. I'm quick to catch a body. When I shoot, he shoot, I know bro shooting right beside me. Them hollow tips go through the wall and then they hit his body.
Niggas died at 65.
Yeah. Hey man, all I'm saying is, nigga, you always got something to say. It's like you don't shut up.
Blazing on the track.
A lot of niggas died 1865. Single Michael fled, highway ain't gon' let it ride. Everybody hot and black was never on your side. They too maps to tell your apps where you sleep at night. They put that white man on. Got you begging them for answers like that white man know. Had you swearing you was African, that's that white man home. Had you proud to be a savage, that's that white man zone. And I ain't talking shit, this my definition. And being savage was our nature, y'all be non-existent. We done took your ass out when we was in them kitchens. Instead of showing you how to live and how to maintain business. White supremacy fake. Only way that shit real is if you do what they say. So dope, my eyes low. When you move like God, the time slow. I came back for the blacks and John Doe's. Crack open them land patents, let go of them townhomes. What's a native to a native? Eat $5 dough if he not melanated. Pale faces got you waiting on a savior. Sending prayers up, he texting back on vacation. Yeah, God's children. Give all your praise to Jesus, but how God feeling? He say put no one before him in divine image. It's you with God or Christians. I got a vision, but niggas ain't gotta listen, so they don't. We came from the soil, wasn't fucking with no boats. Bible took our spirit, English potted on our homes. Tribal families turned on us, don't act like y'all don't know. But fuck them and they grudges. We was something turned to nothing. And now we nothing's turned to something. Reincarnation of ancients, fresh up out the oven. This the message to the black man. 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 Shooters on my roof, lawyers in the coop. We can never die, bitch, we bulletproof. This the message to the black man. This the message to the black man. Say you wasn't slaves, you was prisoners of war. You stop wasting your time, these other bitches ain't important. You ain't meditating, you ain't mating with the sauce. Like what the fuck's a noodle if you ain't painted with the sauce? I find it hard to trust the pastor who rather side with the master, who preaching we should submit while getting murdered and captured. About how we should wait on God is never our vernacular. They get
Suave on the track.
Whatever it takes. The hell way.
Coco, this your season right now.
They won't see me. They won't let me I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping, making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the odds wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid. Yeah. I won't let them, yeah. They won't see me, yeah. I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping, making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the odds wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid. Yeah. I can't let them, yeah. They won't see me, yeah. I put attention, all of my blood, all of my veins. They started with perky, now that hair by none is veins. You started with serving, now them drugs drove you insane. Started with dealing, I grew up with killers, they taught me the game. I got some niggas that die behind, and that shit won't never the same. I know some niggas that lie behind, and that bullet had his name. Ain't no reason to cry about, cause that shit won't never change. MTF the 4th and P, my niggas can't get out the game. I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping, making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the stern. I know the odds wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid. Yeah. I won't let them, yeah. They won't see me, yeah. I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping, making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the stern. I know the odds wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid. Yeah. I can't let them, yeah. They won't see me, yeah.
Lost, see, I glossed too, we shit ain't been the same. Heard the ops talking to the
Yo, peace and motherfucking blessings to all the American Aborigines in the chat, man. Everybody in the building, man. It's your brother Aboriginal Power. Peace and blessings. I want to shout out everybody that's in the chat that's not able to comment. Shout out to y'all. Make sure y'all be safe on your daily commute, your daily travels, on your way to work, whatever you're doing. Peace and blessings to you guys. I also want to shout out to everybody that is in the chat that took their time out to comment. Let me shout out to my brother, Mr. Aboriginal Smith. Top of the morning, cuz. Rashard Harris, Manguzi, Bronze Flat Power, Aboriginal Truth Seeker, Kevin Gilbert, shout out to y'all, TT Portier, Sean P, the Aborigine, Crazy, Chief Crazy Overstanding, Pop Reed, man. Make sure y'all show some love to the elder in the chat, Wilmore Reed. Make sure y'all show some love. Shout out to Truthful, N. Jones, Antontinus Amaru Khan of America, shout out to you. Snake God, shout out to Empress Freedom Feather, Copper Color Goddess, OG Green Machine. Shout out to Wax On Never Off. Shout out to Antone Williams, Trap Moses, Rob McCoy, Official, Keenan X, Cool Face, and LA Sound Collector. Fuck you, you little wetback. You ain't coming for shit. Go back across the border, you beaner. Shout out to Helena Oliver. Peace and blessings to you. Shout out to Don Philly. Shout out to who else we got here? Darius Matthews. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Peace and blessings. How y'all feeling this Grand Rising? We got no knowledge in the building. We got my boy Knowledge in the building. Excuse me. Knowledge is in the fucking building, y'all. Shout out to my boy Track, North Carolina, southbound, North Carolina, Marcus Adum. Shout out to you, brother. Marcus Adum in the motherfucking building. Mega Traveling Man. Devon Ward. I just want to make sure I ain't missing out on some of the people that was in the chat. Y'all know how I do. Laurel Grassroots, Elizabeth Young, Joshua Stewart, Alicia Lee, the beautiful Gretchen Helms. Shout out to Gretchen Helms, always in the chat, turning up. Shout out to Gretchen Helms. Who else we got in bed? I believe that's it, man. Can we get y'all to drop them fire emojis in the chat? Can I get y'all to drop them fire emojis in the chat? Man, we got a little Mexican in here talking about I'm coming for you. Nigga, you ain't coming for shit. Beat you and all your little uncles up. Fuck Eddie Guerrero and everybody. Rey Mysterio, Cardi B, the Bodegas, everything. We don't give a fuck about no little Spanish people running around in my country. Take your ass back. Straight up, man. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Y'all know we coming with some heat today. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know we coming with some heat today. We got some shit lined up for y'all. Man, look at this, man. We got the exclusive Chief Holiday jersey, man. Big Chiefs, man. Big Chief Holiday jersey. Got the Chief Holiday on the back. You already know the vibes, man. Shout out to my brother, Chief Holiday. Exclusive Chief Holiday jersey, man. These are one-on-ones, man. You can't even find these, bitch. You can't even order these. I might do a jersey giveaway next month. I like Eddie Guerrero too. You know what I'm saying? They come out with the little low rider and shit, but yeah, fuck the Mexicans. Seriously. Joshua Stewart, what up? Y'all fuck with it? Yeah, the Big Chief Holiday jersey. These are one-on-ones. Can't even get these. Exclusive. You understand? Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Peace and bliss. Can I get y'all to drop a fire emoji? This is the Wake and Bake Show. Let me know what city, what state y'all in this Grand Rising, and what y'all smoking on, man. Let's light it up, man. What city and what state and what y'all smoking on this Grand Rising? So yeah, man, I just want to chop it up with y'all, man. First things first, man, we've been decoding this information, chopping down everything, breaking out the visuals, and we're going to summarize everything in the pay-per-view. So if you ain't got the pay-per-view for this August 7th, this up and coming Sunday at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, me, Unconscious One, Jaguar Omac, the return of the American Gods. The pay-per-view is called The American Gods, man. Make sure y'all go check it out. Support the channel if y'all want to get out. If y'all want to purchase the pay-per-view, all the information is in the description box right now. Make sure y'all go check that out. Patrick, what'd you say? He said they gonna catch me slipping at Home Depot. Boy, I don't even go to Home Depot or Lowe's. They ain't gonna catch me. They always be like, brother, Betty good. You doing Betty good? You need help? No, I don't need no help on my motherfucking house. I don't need no help building shit. Stop standing outside of Home Depot harassing people. They don't even do good work. Who the fuck gonna hire a Mexican? Unless you want a doghouse built in about 3 days. Like, give a fuck about no Mexicans, man. Let me give y'all a little something about what my boy said.
Africa, and
yeah, I don't give a damn about no Africa.
It was a clip you had said like fuck Africa, and
yeah, I don't give a damn about no Africa. Nigga, Africa ain't built no ship and came back over here and rescued one nigga since we left from Africa. Yeah, and Africans don't like us. Yeah, nigga, Africans don't fuck with us. They don't like us, and they stink. Yeah, ain't some stinky people. Yeah, nigga, fuck Africa. Yeah, nigga, they ain't our people. We niggas, slaves. The descendants of slaves. They would never call no nigga. The first group of Africans, only one generation. Now the first group came. They wasn't born into this shit. Me and your people was born into this, homie. They were born slaves. They birth certificates say nigga. They was born in Africa. They are not us. They know what tribe they come from. They had a language. Once they broke them from the language and we was born in these conditions. We ain't no Africans. We ain't no Hebrew. We nigga. Bottom line, homie. And the word nigga is not a distasteful, it's not a shameful word. Those people.
We use a program called Global Shop. With it, we're able to provide our customers.
6-minute video. That's some bullshit. Like, that shit just pissed me off. Little weak ass commercials. Bitch ain't nothing but 6 minutes. Raggedy bastards. The fuck on. Then they got the nerve to put 2 of them bitches up. That's why I don't be supporting these motherfucking channels. All these goddamn commercials. You know what I'm saying? Fuck them. Habit bastards.
It's not a shameful word. Those people names. Come here, nigga. Nigga, shut up. Hang that nigga. Catch that nigga. It wasn't until Mark Twain wrote the book Huckleberry Finn that in America a nigga got a name. His name was Nigga Jim. That's the first time they ever had a nigga had a name. Nigga Jim. Nigga didn't have no name. Come here, nigga. Nigga Toby. Nigga didn't have no name. We've heard, boy, look at this nigga. He heard that when he was born, and he heard that when he died. Died, nigga. That was his name. And we get mad when a white person call us a nigga. We should never be offended nor get upset when a white person say nigga. Well, that's honoring your people, right? Normally, the white person didn't call you a nigga if you did what he said. He called you boy. Hey, boy. Only the person got called nigga was the rebellious boy. Didn't do what he said. He got mad at him. So it's a compliment when a white person get mad and say, fuck you, nigga. Your response would be, man, thank you. But I could never be as great as them people. We want to beat up the white boy for calling us great. Man, that word means great. So they want to tell you, no, man, don't say that word. Erase it. We need to erase that word. Why we need to erase that word? It needs to be put on a building.
Why do you feel like it mean great though? Like I know you saying like
who told you it mean bad?
Because like if in them times these people was using this and they didn't respect us, they didn't look at us like as a person.
They still don't.
You know why?
Charleston White, I just want to put that in your mind on how the average black person or the nigga in America, whether they got information on certain shit or not, they don't give a fuck about no Africa. They don't give a fuck about no Asians. Us as a people know who the fuck we are, whether they know how to articulate it or not. We know exactly who we are. We know what we expressing through these conversations. We know what we're talking about. I'm a nigga. He know what he mean. Ain't no Africans want to be called nigga. You call a Mexican, Dominican, a Mexican, a Jamaican, an African, a nigga. Watch what they say to you. They gonna automatically let you know that they ain't from your stock. They gonna automatically let you know that they not your peoples. Period. We the niggas, we the Aborigines, we built this shit. Facts. Facts. And that's why we've been challenging the fucking narrative. It ain't a narrative that ain't been questioned or challenged by us. That's on my mama's mama. Everything been challenged. Even the timeline, man. We challenging even the timeline. Y'all niggas is acting like we're not out here putting in all this work, man. We putting in a lot of work out here. We're going through catching the lie, teaching you to unlearn the lie, and then casting out the truth as what we perceive it to be. As what we collectively, gradually collective. Excuse me. Straight up, man. Nobody give a fuck about no Africans, no Mexicans, nothing. Nothing. If you ain't no nigga, if you ain't no American, nigga, I don't want nothing to do with your conversation over with. Y'all don't bring nothing tangible to the table for my people to benefit off of, but yet you come to the table benefiting off what my people has produced. We're not allowing that no more. You got to hold your own nuts. All foreigners got to hold your own. I'm here to help my peoples. I have peace and love to all Aborigines. I have no beef with no Aborigines. That's how much I love my people. But the rest of you motherfuckers, you will not get a pass by Big Ab. I promise you. You understand me? That's on my mama's mama. You understand me? That's on my mama's mama. You understand me? Hey, I need y'all to hit that like button. We're gonna get right into this build, man. Before we get in there, I need somebody to hit the like button. We need to get 120 likes in here, and I need at least 2 people to support the channel. We ain't had 1 person support the channel. We only had a couple people buy pay-per-views too, so we're gonna get y'all them links out by tomorrow. The links will be put out by tomorrow. The bill will be put out by tomorrow. All right. So listen, we need y'all to hit thumb up that video. We need y'all to support the channel, man. If y'all ain't purchased the pay-per-view, all the pay-per-view information is at the bottom. It's at the description box below of the live program page. You look at the bottom, look at the page, go to the description box. You know what I mean? Purchase the pay-per-view. It's gonna be dope. We got me, A1, Jaguar. We've been putting out this information, setting it up, building up our PowerPoints for the last week. It's gonna be a dope ass live stream. I'm really hope y'all want to enjoy it. Berber means foreigner. Hey, if y'all ready, man, I need y'all to drop them fire emojis. Shit. Need y'all to drop them fire emojis and support the motherfucking channel, man. This is the Wake and Bake Show. This is the motherfucking Wake and Bake Show. Tomorrow, you understand me? Tomorrow, goddamn. Y'all niggas play too much. Y'all jokey today. I still wonder how the mud floods was possible and intentionally done. I don't believe that they was intentionally done, me personally. I believe they capitalized off a natural disaster. You see what I'm saying? Just like they capitalized off of other natural disasters. Rolling up that crack pack as we speak. Damn. Boy, crack ain't good. Crack ain't good for you. We don't smoke that in the Wake and Bake, boy. Nigga, this is the good herb, sir. Shout out to my nigga, man. We ain't smoking that bullshit. We need some people to support the channel, man. Hey, shout out to my man Copper Tone for sending in the $2 cash out donation, supporting the $2 challenge. He said, let's get it. He said, let's get this shit cracking. You know what I'm saying, broski? Yeah, we about to get it cracking on my mama, on my mama's mama. Any past bills about the Emerald tablets? Thanks. Oh, yeah, man, we done did several bills. Man, I did a whole bill bringing out the Inca stones. Y'all know what the Inca stones is? The Inca stones was the motherfuckers who lived in Atlantis in America in the woods. These was the country folks. See, these Inca stones don't come from the advanced part of society. They come from the outer class, the country. You know, every society you got your high class, advanced living societies, and then you got your backwoods, primitive societies, right? The Inca stones come from a primitive society, but they had the science to be able to study the astrologies. So they was able to see the storm or this event coming. So they was packing up and traveling, telling everybody. That's how they was able to take everything to the eastern side of the world. And when you look at the Inca stones, it shows these little aborigines looking at telescopes and dealing with dinosaurs and some more shit. Performing surgeries. Seriously. The Inca stones get deep down in it. And I only believe they only covered a fraction of the Inca stones. I believe there's a lot more that tells their story. This is how they documented events that was worth documenting. Not everything was documented, but the things that was documented obviously was worth it to them. So that's what the Inca stones display. We're gonna have to get into those in another note, man. Blue cookies in the building, platinum, OG green. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. We're about to get straight into this live stream, man. We ain't gonna hold y'all up. Let's go.
All right. Hello, Michelle. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. Thank you. And thank you for inviting me to be a guest on your show.
Yes, thank you for coming on. I just want to say I've seen some of the videos on your channel. I'm subscribed once again. For everyone listening, make sure you go to her YouTube. The channel is actually in the description. So she has a lot of documentaries on there. Basically, she's uncovering hidden history, some things that are like right in our plain view that we don't see. We don't really know how to discern what we're walking by on a regular basis. Okay, and it's just great what you do. I love it. And if you could please just tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into this line of research.
Okay, I'm happy to do that. And let me first say that I wholeheartedly embrace the Moorish paradigm. And my work is based on that understanding. And I have been blogging and making videos for almost 4 years now. And I had never blogged or made a video in my life until June of 2018. And at the same time, I think I've had this information coming to me from my earliest memories. So I feel like I was incarnated to do this work just because the way my life has gone, places I've lived, people that I've met, things that I've been interested in, ancient history, hidden history, history's mysteries, ley lines, dowsing. And that was where I first started to get my education on the Earth's grid system, was from, thank goodness for the internet, and a lot of really good Earth energy researchers out there. I would watch Megalithomania presentations, which is a conference that is organized by a man in England, and so I'm learning about these energy lines and how the same thing is in Turkey that's in South America, and this is early on in my research. You know, the deeper I go into it, the more I understand, and we've been lied to about everything. But for me, okay, so there's a lot of things that happen, but if I go back to one of my earliest memories, I was about 7 or 8 years old, and my dad would play he was on the church softball team, and their practice field was right next to a wooded area, and I wasn't interested in watching the softball, so I'd go down in the woods, and there were some really big stones that I used to play around. And once I started to do this work, I look back on that as being megalithic stones. I lived in a place called Rockville in Maryland. This is in Rock Creek. And these clues are in our language, place names, Stony Hill or whatever. This is part of what's hidden in plain sight. There's megalithic stone blocks everywhere, literally everywhere, taunting us, but not telling us about this original civilization. And until you tune into it, you don't even realize you're there. I mean, check out in front of a Starbucks or, convenience store someday near where you live. You'll see big megalithic stone blocks that are just like laying around. I first woke up to it in Oklahoma City. And after that, I started noticing them everywhere. So what brought the Moors into my life was having a Moorish American friend when I moved to Oklahoma City. And I had already had this interest in ancient history, like I was talking about, in megaliths and what we haven't been told. And meeting my friend Pharaoh Osiris was how I learned about the Moors. I mean, really learned about the Moors. And with all the other research that I was doing and things that had happened, it just all came together. And it's the only thing that makes sense, that this was a civilization.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It looks like you were breaking up. Your audio is breaking up.
Okay. How is it now?
You're good now.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. So I had a Moorish American friend in Oklahoma City who brought the stream in about the Moors for me, and then everything just clicked and made sense, that this civilization was the same worldwide. It was built out along sacred geometry and aligning heaven and earth. And you see that with older megaliths, archaeoastronomy, where they're lined up with like the solstice and the equinox and the Milky Way and whatever. And that goes on up into modern times. The modern buildings are lined up, north, south, east, west, and perfectly aligned to these events and to full moons and things like that. The Statue of Liberty is, you can look up things. Pyramids are everywhere. Where is that picked? Miamisburg Mound in Ohio.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this one. In Southern Ohio. It's pretty impressive too. But like you were saying, we can just walk by this and think that maybe it's a hill, or especially if it hasn't been cleared out, if there's trees growing on it, and there's things like this, like you were saying, all over the place.
Mm-hmm. Literally all over the place. There's some places that are called mounds, but mounds are everywhere.
Yeah.
And I mean, you'll see tank farms and things like that sitting on top of earthworks. There's some kind of energy component to it. Our modern energy system is based on this ancient technology. But what really, really got my own work going, and this is a place where I want to share my screen, is when I was living in Oklahoma City. A friend of mine that I would travel with had given me a map, and it was on my dining room table, and I was.
Hey man, I need everybody to hit the like button. Michelle is kind of slow. She will put a nigga to sleep, but we're gonna add some clarity to it as she start the build. Root words. Let me find out you done knock that thing down, boy. Let me find out she the more that they talk about in Ohio. I swear to God, I'm on your ass, boy.
As I was looking at it, I noticed cities lining up in lines. And I had learned about sacred geometry sometime around 2006, 2007. I had taken a Flower of Life workshop. I was living in Fairbanks, Alaska at the time. And it was during this time period that I really, really started to wake up. I mean, I would consider myself an aware person most of my life, but I really started waking up to higher consciousness, unity consciousness, starting around 2006, 2007. And it's kind of been an upward curve ever since. But because I had the exposure to sacred geometry, I was able to find a star tetrahedron by connecting the cities in North America. And I found the first one, and I thought, well, gee, I wonder if I can find another one. And that was when I found the bottom one with the apex in Merida. So the northern one, the apex is in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. And I extended the lines out. The education I had received up to that point had taught me that the ancients were very precise in their alignments, and other people had found alignments, circle alignments around the world and things like that. So I was already aware of that. So I extended the lines, and then I wrote down the places on spreadsheets. And let me get out of here real quick. And so this is where my research started. And these are all places in alignment. And then the next page, they're all in alignment. And I'm thinking, okay, I've got to get this information out. How am I going to show people what I'm seeing? Because when I started looking at the places, I'm like, holy cow, everything's the same all over the earth. And I'm a good writer, so that was a natural way for me to do it. It took about 2 years. So I found the star tetrahedron in 2016, and I started blogging in 2018, which was when I made my first video. And I was only going to make one video, and then somebody subscribed to my channel, and I thought, well, gee, I better make more videos.
Yeah.
And I just started turning my blog posts into videos. And I've been doing it consistently for over 3 years, like I said, and probably at least one a week, sometimes more, sometimes less, but I got a bunch of them. And as I was following the alignments and doing research, the whole story, the whole sordid story of how the original civilization was taken down and replaced by what we've been taught, in our day and age, took place. And, the who, the what, the how, the when, the why, just came out in the research. And then I started extrapolating that information and, putting it together in themes. And that started just from tracking the alignments that I found. And it's really been an incredible journey. And the people that find me, that find my work, find my channel and stick with it are like, they know something's wrong and they want to know what the truth is. And a lot of people talk about Tartaria. And Tartaria was in Asia, part of the Moorish civilization. And that's how most people know it. And I think the reason for that is because a lot of the original research came out of Russia, from Russian researchers, which would have been part of Tartaria. And I'm like, well, Tartaria was part of it. It's not the other way around. And so it's still a bit of an education process on it being Moorish, and bringing back the original civilization and how sophisticated and beautiful it was. And I believe it was taken out by a mud flood. I know you referenced that. I didn't know anything about the mud flood until a mutual subscriber connected me with somebody that was researching mud flood in Baltimore. And when I saw his work, which was about 2019, I want to say the spring of 2019, I thought, well, geez, we're looking at the same thing. We're looking at the same buildings. And so my personal belief is that a cataclysm was deliberately created.
Well, and this is where I differ with a lot of people, because they keep saying created. Disasters happen all the time, man. Let me shout out to the people that's in the chat that support the channel. Shout out to James Malner. And shout out to William Wilson for the Cash App donation. Shout out to William Wilson for the Cash App donation. And shout out to my man James for the PayPal donation, supporting the $2 channel. We appreciate that, man. Cash App and PayPal information is at the bottom of the screen if y'all want to support the channel. I appreciate everybody for tapping in. Most important thing y'all can do is hit that like button and share the live stream. All right. But listen, this is where I differ with a lot of people. I don't believe that this Madrid earthquake that happened is something that somebody did deliberately. I don't think nobody had enough power over our natural atmosphere and our organic universe to do something like that. But what I do believe is that they capitalized. They capitalized off a disaster, and this is how they started to come up with their wicked plan of reconstruction and deconstructionizing our history, burying our history, building on top of our history, using a prior technology that they can understand to build their infrastructure for their future. So now what I'm saying is a natural disaster happened. Check. Foreign entities and colonizers capitalized off of it. Check. But what I don't agree with is that they did it.
I thought, well, geez, we're looking at the same thing. We're looking at the same buildings. And so my personal belief is that a cataclysm was deliberately created by the 13 bloodlines, the whoever we call the controllers, the elites, the 1%, was done so they could take over the grid, so they could take over humanity, steal the legacy, steal money, steal dignity. They're not nice beings at all, which is an understatement. They're very dark, very evil. And I think they saw an opportunity to try to.
Yo, let me take that back. She just actually added clarity to something. If we did have this prior technology and we was this advanced civilization, would have had mechanics and tools and things to manipulate the weather? I would say yes. And I don't believe that these original 13 bloodlines are pale-skinned people. I believe pale-skinned people are the proxies or pawns of these particular Black 13 bloodlines. So now I'm thinking like, maybe it was done deliberately. Now that I think about it, it's starting to make more sense. I actually agree now, somewhat.
This is against the creator and creation. I mean, it's. And I don't think they're going to get away with it, but it's almost like they almost did.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. I mean, that's what the cover up, is all about, keeping us in the dark. Before you get any deeper, though, I want to just say something and just share something briefly, especially for people who are new to this. Okay, like when you're talking about Tartaria and you're saying that that's Moorish civilization, and even like just implying that there were Moors over here in America pre-colonization. That meant a lot to take in for some people, but I want to share something with you. This is from the book Discovering the Mysteries of Ancient America, and Legends Unearthed and Unexplored. So in here is speaking about artifacts that were found in Brazil in the 1800s and in the not 1800s, in the 1600s. Okay, and I'm just going to share this briefly. So now these types of artifacts are found all over the place. This is speaking about Phoenician artifacts found in the Americas. It was speaking about things that were found in Massachusetts, but then it's saying that in the along the Brazilian coast, there were minted coins that were found, right? And also stones. A stone covered with Phoenician letters was discovered in Brazil. It says about 120 years ago. And it's saying that the inscription was found by Brazilian slaves during the early 1870s, called the Parabia text. It recounts the voyage of Phoenician merchants who traveled from Sidon in the 6th century BC. And it was branded a fraud, but they did further research on it, and they confirmed that the inscriptions were authentic, right? There were passages that were thought to be erroneous, but they have been verified later on with identical inscriptions of bona fide Phoenician artifacts. And there were things that were on there that they didn't even understand completely. They couldn't even accurately translate in the 1600s, right? Until they got more artifacts later on. Okay. And
I told y'all down, this is what they classify as Phoenician, because you got to realize the Phoenicians were some of the first people that came here or that was coming around to these areas copying our shit. So this is really probably some ancient Aboriginal text that's talking about a voyage that's probably in the language that one of the languages that the Phoenicians stole. Phoenicians are the copycatters. The Phoenicians are the East Dutch Company. They're your Sicilians, all your fake Europeans. That, you know what I'm saying? It's just deep, man. It's just deep. If you're not understanding it, I understand. But listen, we're going to get into the rest of this information, man. We got 206 people already in here, man. Can we get everybody to drop the fire emoji in the chat and thumb up the video? So the thing I ask for you guys to do is to thumb up the video. Thumb up the video. All right, thumb up the video, thumb up the video, thumb up the video, man. Hey, if y'all, I need everybody to drop a fire emoji in the chat if y'all enjoying the build, man. We're gonna continue the live stream right now.
In 1641, Jesuits living near Minas Gerais, Brazil, reported bronze figurines with a strange writing. They come to find out later on the Vatican identified the descriptions as Phoenician. So things like this weren't supposed to be found over here in the Americans. Okay, in the Americans, in the Americas. That just doesn't fit the timeline that we're given. That doesn't fit what we're taught in school, what's still being taught, even at the university level. So change needs to occur. We have to do the work. And on that note, I yield the floor.
All very important points. And the lies go deep. We're talking Jesuits, we're talking Freemasons, we're talking Oddfellows, we're talking Knights of Pythias. In terms of how this whole new narrative was brought in. I mean, it's like the 19th century from, let's say, around the beginning of 1800 to the beginning of 1900s was, I believe, was a reset century. And that was when they were setting the stage, if you will, for this whole new narrative. And every building has a story. Every bridge has a story. And thank goodness the internet came along. Like I said earlier, it's like I wouldn't be able to do this research without it. And once you start looking at what they tell us in the narrative, talk about questioning the narrative, it falls apart. It's ludicrous. And I've done research on Western movies not too long ago because I know that that's fake. And how all of that came about, I call the John Wayne version of history. But I'm also calling it the Laurel and Hardy version of history because there's a lot of that in there too.
Yeah.
With what they tell us about certain things. It's like just ridiculous stories. And once you start actually looking at it, any old buildings in your community, it'll have a story. It might have a date carved over the door or in a foundation stone or whatever, but it's like that's all it is. They didn't build it. Same thing with a lot of the bridges, like the Brooklyn Bridge, and a lot of the older bridges were not built.
Hold on. She just can't slip by that. The Brooklyn Bridge is an ancient structure that was here prior to Europeans. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Foundation stone or whatever, but it's like that's all it is. They didn't build it. Same thing with a lot of the bridges, like the Brooklyn Bridge, and a lot of the older bridges were not built by the people that took credit for it. And let me go ahead and share my screen. I might as well. It's like there's so many things that it's more compelling to show you what I'm talking about than talk about it. So let me just show you the solar alignment of the Statue of Liberty.
All right. And when you showed like the tetrahedron, star tetrahedron, it lined up with the cities in North America. Were these cities were they on ley lines?
I believe so. I mean, I think it was built with a very definite it was built according to geometric and astronomical principles. So I think the ancients probably groomed the energy lines in some way. I mean, it's amazing. Because I've got so many examples, so you'll have to forgive me. So this is the solar alignment with the Statue of Liberty. But not only do you see it with the Statue of Liberty, you see it with Capitol buildings. You see it with mosques. You see it with churches. You see it with lighthouses. Lighthouses were doing something more than guiding ships. Everything was in perfect alignment. I mean, I've done some research on it right now. I'm just typing in things to give you some examples so you can see here on the right the perfect alignment. I mean, perfect.
Yeah, I see that definitely. Yeah.
But it's like that all over the world. Taj Mahal. You see it with the Taj Mahal. And I mean, it's like I said, it's everywhere. Everything was in perfect alignment.
Everything was in perfect alignment. This comes from a prior civilization that obviously was at a peak of their civilization. Obviously, they was more advanced than where we was anytime, whether in the beginning of our industrial age or now. They was at a technological feat that we have not reached yet. Shout out to my boy Rob McCoy for supporting the channel, man, sending in the cash out donation. He said, one day, can you teach us how to properly research? No problem. I got old videos. I said old videos. Damn, I sound like a motherfucking Mexican. Oh, I got old videos saying, showing people the methodology of how to research, going through various different methodologies. You see what I'm saying? Showing people how to cross-reference whatever you're presenting and how to challenge that. You see what I'm saying? Me and A1 got a method down where we use cross-referencing, and then we bring 3 supporting articles to go with it. So whatever your primary is, cross-referencing it with 3 other articles, scientific journal articles that support that. You see what I'm saying? That's what we try to do. You see what I'm saying? So shout out to my boy Rob McCoy for saying one day, can you teach us how to properly research? I really will do a bill like that, or take my time out in one of these bills this week and just show you how to properly do that. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Make sure y'all support the channel. If y'all want to support the channel, Cash App and PayPal information is at the bottom of the screen, man. We're gonna continue this live stream, man. Shout out to everybody in the building.
I believe that the whole civilization was in harmony and balance. I think that's what the 12 tribes were about. That the layout of the civilization was also according to sacred geometry. I'm trying to think of some other examples. And let me stop sharing here real quick. I just wanted to give you an idea of what Manhattan Hinge. Are you familiar with Manhattan Hinge?
No, I've never heard of that.
Okay, so Manhattan Hinge is the alignment around the solstices of the street grid of New York City or of Manhattan. And this is in other cities as well. I might want to look it up.
Wow. Okay.
Called the Manhattan Solstice is an event during which the setting sun or the rising sun is aligned with the east-west street grids of the main street grid of Manhattan in New York City.
Wow.
I mean, this is a real thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it has its own Wikipedia page. Wow. Yeah, and I've never heard of that.
You know, so everything was laid out perfectly. And that wasn't done randomly. And they want us to believe that things were done randomly. And it's like, no.
Yeah. So definitely, when you say
hey man, shout out to everybody in the building, man. Make sure y'all hit the like button as y'all come in the building. It's very important for you guys to hit the like button. Y'all know that they be playing with my algorithm. They don't be wanting to give me my notifications. A lot of y'all ain't even getting the notifications. Y'all just see it on the live, on the YouTube footage. But hey, man, hit the like button, thumb up the video, man. That pushes our algorithm out. You feel what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Like I said, if y'all haven't got the pay-per-view for this up and coming Sunday, August the 7th, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, Aboriginal Power, Unconscious One, Jaguar OMAC comes together and give y'all fire pay-per-view, The American Gods. The American Gods, man. It's going to be a dope one. Make sure y'all tap in. If y'all want to purchase the pay-per-view, information is in the description box. Information is in the description box. Make sure y'all support the channel, y'all. Make sure y'all support the channel. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. If y'all enjoying the bill, can I get everybody to hit the like button and to drop a fire emoji in the chat right now? Everybody drop a fire emoji. Y'all notice it's the Wake and Bake Show. Don't even slack, man. Y'all notice the Wake and Bake Show. Drop what city and what state y'all in and what y'all smoking on out there this Grand Rising. What city, what state, and what y'all smoking on, man. We're going to continue this fire information as we stimulate the thought process and start challenging the narrative, questioning the narrative. You see what I'm saying? Challenging and questioning the narrative. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Thumb up the video. Shout out
things like for example, saying that the Brooklyn Bridge wasn't built, I guess you could say, by Western civilization. So you're insinuating that it's older?
I'm insinuating
it was. Explain that for people that are new to this type of information.
Okay. I'm insinuating it was built by the original civilization, which would be the Marsh civilization. And the same thing with rail lines, subways, streetcars.
I know y'all feel offensive, but listen, we got to understand. That's just like somebody saying this was the ancient Tartaria. This was ancient Atlantis, the ancient Atlanteans. You see what I'm saying? When they say ancient Moors, they just saying a great black civilization that was in America. That's all they saying. A great Negro civilization that was in America. Facts. Ain't nothing else to talk about, man. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Eat the meat, spit out the bones, man. Learn how to question the narrative, man. We know what's going on.
The whole 9 yards. It was all interconnected. It was all part of the grid. Free energy generating system. So I'm going to show you the Roebling Bridge in Cincinnati, and then I'm going to show you the Brooklyn Bridge.
All right.
Okay, this one is in Cincinnati. Beautiful beautiful old bridge.
Yeah.
And the credit for it was given to a German-American engineer. And it was said to have been built around the time of the Civil War.
Huh.
Okay, let me find a date. So 1856 to 1867 is when we're told it was built.
Man, that's a motherfucking lie. How the fuck they building concrete structures that's still being used today in the water in 1856 when you got niggas running around in horse and buggy in a wagon? How the fuck you get the concrete there in the water? You got your president born in a stick cabin in 1856. And you got these concrete structures? Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And the Civil War was supposed to have been between 1861 and 1865.
Yeah.
So, and that's what I'm talking about when I say the story falls apart when you start looking into it. How were they building that during the Civil War?
Yeah.
Yeah,
so we have these steel cables up here too. Yeah.
And then the Brooklyn Bridge kind of has a similar story. The same idea, beautiful stone masonry. And it was supposed to have been built also by the same guy, same man that built the bridge in Cincinnati.
Yeah. Wow. That's and is it like the same timeline? So there's I think Penn Station in New York, or maybe the old Penn Station, because I don't think it looks like that anymore. But the older architecture was like, it was immaculate.
It's amazing. This is the old Penn Station. And what they want you to believe is that it was only standing for 60 years from 1910 to 1963, and then they tore it down. And they give credit to McKim, Mead, and White, which got credit for a lot of buildings. And they want us to believe that was built in 1910.
And I've seen some of the pictures where like the ceilings, everything's like in this Gothic style, and it's immaculate. And it does make sense, because it's like, if you were able to do that, 150 years ago, why aren't you doing better? Everything done in the style where it's just rectangles, squares. I mean, yeah, that is amazing.
So this nice colorized picture of the original Pennsylvania station, I mean, it's a huge building compared to the people in it. And, just this ornate, beautiful architecture with vaulted ceilings and columns and, you name it. And, the other thing I want to show you about bridges is, let me go back to the Brooklyn Bridge real quick, because I want to show you one that's in Constantine, Algeria, which is very similar to the bridge that I showed you. And Constantine is known as the city of bridges.
Okay.
And it's I think I'd probably get what is it called when you're afraid of heights?
Yeah.
I can't think of what it's called, but
I couldn't mess with that.
Constantine is like built on top of this rock, rocky place.
The plateau. Yeah.
Plateau. And again, that's ancient infrastructure, I believe, what it's sitting on top of. But we've been conditioned to see that as natural. So I wanted to point out this bridge here in Constantine and compare it to the Brooklyn Bridge. You know, it's not exactly the same, but it's got similar features.
Yeah.
So, you know, whatever they did to bring us what we've been taught is incredibly sophisticated on one hand, and on the other hand, you know, like I said, it just doesn't hold up when you start looking at the details and asking questions. They did something to flip the timeline, and flip the story, you know, flip everything on its head, you know, right down to whitewashing monarchs of Europe. And, you know, you can find clear portraits of King Philip II of Spain as a Moor.
Yeah.
And you also find, you know, the white version of King Philip II.
Yeah.
You know, and they did that with the Stuarts in England. They did that, you know, in a lot of places. The Habsburgs were not white. Or not.
Yeah, definitely. That I've seen that as well. Like just with the changing, you know, the monarch's appearance, and I guess you could say like whitewashing, you know, and sometimes that may have been occurring during their lifetime too, while they were you know, taking portraits. So some of the portraits that were being done, like or the change occurred like right after they died, because some of the pictures I've seen, like the painting, you'll see their hands or their arms, and it's way darker than the, you know, rest of their body. So, you know, just it doesn't match up. So definitely, I've seen that as well. One thing that I wanted to ask you about, I saw in one of your videos, you were speaking about the similarities in the rivers, like the Mississippi and different rivers here in America, and then also, I guess you could say, like in Egypt, different places in the world. Right. I think you were on your website, and you had some pictures that showed like I guess the similar mouths of the river, you know, just how they're shaped. And then also, oh, were you about to say something? Sorry.
No, keep going.
Okay. Yeah. Also, you had some photos that showed how it was obvious that some of the rivers were man-made. I think it was showing like maybe the Mississippi Delta or in Louisiana. And I just thought it was ironic that, you know, you had that up, because I'm going to share the screen real quickly. Hang on. So in the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, in chapter 47, Egypt, the capital empire of the Dominion of Africa, in verse 8, it says, the river Nile was dredged and made by the ancient pharaohs of Egypt, right? It was man-made in order to trade with the surrounding kingdoms. Also, the Niger River was dredged by the great pharaoh of Egypt in those days for trade, and it extends eastward from the river Nile westward across the great Atlantic. It was used for trade and transportation. And Prophet Noble Drew Ali was teaching this to the so-called Negroes in North America in the 1920s, you know, teaching that these rivers were man-made, that they were created by our ancestors, you know, and they had a purpose. Also that it extended across the Atlantic, which is amazing, because we now know that there are actual, trying to think of the name of it, but you actually have like underwater rivers in the Atlantic, currents now that the sailors knew about it back in the days too, but the people know, like if you're traveling on the Atlantic, if you get on this current, you can ride it all the way, you know, from the Eastern hemisphere to the Western hemisphere and have a smoother ride, right? So there's like underwater rivers or currents. I'm trying to think of the name of it. I can't remember the name, but we had this being taught in the 1920s, right? If this is ancient information that was being returned to us. And I just thought it was funny because I hadn't seen some of the pictures before that you were showing, but it's obvious. For people who are listening or watching, she had pictures of different parts of the Mississippi where the lines were so straight, you know, I mean, the borders of the river were so straight, you could tell that it was man-made. And this is stuff that you can actually see all over the world.
Right, exactly. And not just so I think it's all a canal system. I think all of these so-called river systems are man-made, and we're taught that they're natural. So, again, a lot of people don't question it, but in many cases and in many places, you can actually see masonry banks, a megalithic masonry. And they try to tell us all this stuff is natural, like canyons and bluffs. Bluffs are bluffs. They're actually man-made infrastructure, and it goes back to ancient times, and this ancient civilization, I believe, existed up until relatively recently, until there was this cataclysm that I believe was man-made, was created in order to take out the civilization and bring in the so-called New World Order, and they just inverted and twisted everything. And it's gotta stop. We gotta come back together and acknowledge the lies that have been told to everybody, and to bring back the truth. And I'm very motivated to do this as long as I'm able to, which hopefully will be the rest of my life.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think, this is holding us back. Just in general, it's holding back the entire world, because obviously we're not able to truly expand our minds and reach our potential. This is what's being taught at elementary all the way up to the university level, and you can't.
Every time you go to a historic site, every time you go to a museum, it's all the same thing that you're talking about. The lies are just reinforced, and that's why they exist, to tell the story that the establishment wants or wanted told, and it's not real. And again, it's the truth needs to come out, because everything that's happening in the world today is based on the Moors and the original civilization, and what happened as a result of it.
Yes, definitely. Could you put a timeline on the cataclysms? We said mud floods, but I mean,
okay,
yes, cataclysm.
So what I was intuitively guided to, through a series of synchronicities, is I believe that a 3D time loop was created between 1492, with the fall of Granada and Columbus's first voyage, to 1942, which was the midway through World War II, and also when I first started looking into it was the year of the Philadelphia experiment. And I've speculated that the Philadelphia experiment had something to do with it. I can't prove it, but I was able to pull together some interesting occurrences around that idea. And again, it came to me intuitively and synchronistically. So I think there's something to it. But what's even more interesting is that when I looked at the midpoint year of between 1492 and 1942, it lands on 1717. And then I tracked the history from 1717 forward, and I looked at what happened in the years before that, but there was a lot of anomalous activity going on around that period of time. And that was the beginning of the Georgian kings of England, King George I. It was the end of the House of Stuart, and James Francis Edward Stuart was exiled first to France and then to Rome, and not allowed to claim the 3 thrones of the British Isles. And I found a portrait of James as a Moor, and I found a whitewashed version of him also. So it was during that period of time that the whole story started to change, but there was a lot of weirdness in dates, numerologically speaking, and 1717 was the year that the Premier Grand Lodge of London was founded. And because I know the connection of the Moors to Masonry, that got my attention. And just a lot of weirdness and stuff moving forward from 1717. So I think there's something to that. And also, since I've done a lot of research since that time, I have a tendency to think that there's a lot of backfilled, fabricated history. And I think real history starts sometime around the 1700s. And when I say real history, I mean what we're given as what happened started sometime in the 1700s. But there was also a lot of other stuff going on during the 19th century. There were a lot of orphans. There's a lot of pieces that really look like the surface population was wiped out, and there were all these kids, and there was also a lot of alcoholism and other things going on. So I've got some idea of what I think took place, but it's not cut and dried because of whatever has taken place here. But I'm saying that because let's say a 200 to 400 year period, I think, is what we're looking at.
Okay. And just for everybody listening, I have a picture up of what looks like the Eye of Providence over the Moorish flag. This is in the tapestry on the ceiling in the Grand Lodge in England, which you mentioned. It's the oldest Grand Lodge in the world. Okay. And so when you go in there, when you look up at the ceiling, you'll see what is obviously the Moorish flag, but they'll tell you no, it's not. It's a coincidence. Okay. So these things are hidden in plain sight all the time. But if you don't have eyes to see and ears to hear, you won't realize what you're really looking at.
Right, exactly. I'm not sure what's going on with the light in my room. I'm sorry about that. It's a little distracting. Just some time of day.
That's fine.
So something definitely happened. And the controllers have just given us a fake history, and people are taught it from cradle to grave, and it's in movies, it's in music, it's in everything. It's in religions. Talking Rothschilds and Rockefellers and DuPonts and
listen, man, all these people, like I said, once I start looking at the World's Fair and I start understanding who was in control, I start understanding that this is the time of John Hanson, this is the time of all these people that you see in Louisiana. Let me show you this picture of Louisiana, the politicians and the mayors and governors and political seats in the 1800s. This is all the people of New Orleans, and this was the imagery that you would have seen around the world. This is at the height of the anti-federal government. These people was going against the anti-federal government, and we know that in 1839, the anti-federal government held more power, and they still held the power of the United States. And most of them people was rich and taking trips overseas to Ireland and investing their money. And they went on the Titanic. And that's part of the Titanic shit that we try to tell y'all about, the DuPonts, the Wartburgs, all these particular people that bought America right after that. You know how they bought America? Because they assumed the identity of the people that was on that Titanic. So the names that you see in this article, after the Titanic happened in the early 1900s, these people came together. The 5 billionaires, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the DuPonts, the Wartburgs, all these people. But we know that J.P. Morgan them had a lot to do with the motherfucking scandalous shit that was going on with the Titanic, man. The anti-federal government was on there. They knew that most of the political city that was signing off to go against going against the federal government and the Federal Reserve was on that particular ship. It's ironically that the main ones that needed to sign off on it passed away. Then obviously someone else had to take their seating when the shit when the shit went down. They don't even talk about the anti-federal government. How many of y'all ever heard about the anti-federal government before we started talking about it recently on this platform? How many of y'all heard of that? Drop a fire emoji in the chat if y'all heard of that. The anti-federal government was all niggas, man. That was all niggas, man. And listen, that was their whole plan. They didn't consume the identity of these people. This is how they came and got this power of this infrastructure. This is right after that happened, after 1839, what started happening around the world? World's Fair, white people indoctrination camps, making up this constructed history, turn down our old structures. We seen what the fuck happened. It's plain as day once you get the whole story. Shout out to all the American Aborigines in the chat. If y'all enjoying the build, man, drop the fire emojis, hit the like button, man. If y'all want to support the channel, Cash App and PayPal information at the bottom of the screen. Most important thing y'all can do is share the live stream at least one time on your social media outlets. I appreciate everybody for tapping in, man. We will continue the live stream right now. Let's get it.
I think Onassis is another one, and maybe Kennedy. I mean, the old names keep popping up in my research around certain things, and they're the ones behind it. Others as well, but they're definitely part of it. And there's a not very happy untold story of what's really been going on here without most people knowing about it, with regards to what's been happening to children and human trafficking and that kind of thing.
Definitely. I wanted to share another image too, just to show you like to show everyone some more imagery to go along with what's being spoken on. This image that's on the screen, some of you heard me talk about this before, but this is a small stone. It's only like maybe 12 to 13 inches tall. It's a pyramid built out of stone. It shines under a black light. It has 13 steps, and then the Eye of Providence, just like the one on the US dollar, right? But this was found in Ecuador, okay? And that's not all, though. On the bottom of that structure, it also has a script on there, like it has words, letters. Okay, let me get a close up of that.
Hey, while he brought up Ecuador, I would love to get into some stories about Ecuador. I'm pretty sure y'all heard about Father Crespi's collection. Shout out to the brothers that do understand who that is. Father Crespi was a Mormon archaeologist in the late 1800s that was in Ecuador and found a conglomerate of artifacts, from giant solid gold crowns that look like it went on a giant statue's head, from giant swords that's solid gold, a sheet of engraving high relief carving on gold sheets about 12 foot in length and about 6 foot in height, found in Ecuador, along with amongst a lot of other things that they classify as Sumerian and Egyptian artifacts found in Ecuador. Ecuador is a hot spot. Ecuador is a hot spot. I'm telling you, it's a hot spot for archaeologists and a lot of history, man. And then I really want to get into another bill, man. I want to get into another one, but we're going to stay on this one, man. Y'all got me going everywhere with it. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Hey, I'm going to drop the link probably in a minute.
This pyramid, it has a script. And this script has actually been found in different countries. It's been found here in North America. It's been found obviously in Ecuador, in Italy, I believe also in North Africa and other places. Okay. And there's a researcher, his name's Klaus, he's from Germany, and he got a linguist who's a bird.
That's dope to look at. We need that. We need that type of information. Hey, everybody in the chat, like I said, I want to reiterate again, the pay-per-view This up and coming Sunday, August the 7th, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. The American Gods, Aboriginal Power, and Thompson is one. Jaguar, Olmec, will be presenting the pay-per-view. If y'all want to purchase the pay-per-view, information to the pay-per-view is in the description box. It's in the description box below. Make sure y'all go purchase the pay-per-view. You're going to want to be there this Sunday, August the 7th, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Man, shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to the Aborigines in the building, man. Shout out to everybody in the building. Peace and blessings. Number
script. And this script has actually been found in different countries. It's been found here in North America. It's been found obviously in Ecuador, in Italy, I believe also in North Africa and other places. Okay. And there's a researcher, his name's Klaus, he's from Germany, and he got a linguist who is a Berber from Mauritania who is able to translate this script. Okay. And those same people, they have stories of basically of their civilization going through a cataclysm, right? A flood, a worldwide flood. You know, they have stories of Atlantis, basically. Okay, and this is who was able to translate this. I'm just showing this because this is very real. This once again, this was found in Ecuador. It's not a coincidence that it looks like the same
8 o'clock
13-step pyramid that's on the US dollar.
My bad, y'all. 8 o'clock p.m., y'all. 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 8 o'clock p.m. That's p.m. That's in the evening time, you guys. All right. 8 o'clock p.m. is when the pay-per-view will be airing. p.m.
There's no coincidences.
But not only that, I got a really important lesson from my friend Pharaoh Osiris. And let me share that here real quick. So, okay, I'm going to share my screen. So my friend was wearing a T-shirt that had the Great Seal of the Moors on it. And my friend Anne, so Anne and Osiris and another friend, Polly, and I would go traveling together. And it was helpful to have a Moorish American friend going to these places, as we were all kind of waking up to all this stuff at the same time. And my other two friends, eventually it ended up being too much for them as we got deeper and deeper into it. But we would watch alternative history videos at my house sometimes, or one of the other houses. And Osiris was wearing a T-shirt that had the Great Seal of the Moors on it. And my friend Anne said, "Osiris, why are you wearing an Illuminati T-shirt?" And I just kind of echoed that. I said, "Yeah, Osiris, why are you wearing an Illuminati T-shirt?" He was really a quiet man. He didn't say very much, but I knew he was hot when I got a couple of emails from him after that happened. So it's burned in my brain that this is the Great Seal of the Moors. And so you can see where you got the seal that's on the back of the $1 bill came from. And I've referred to that a couple of times in my blog and videos, because they took a lot.
Yep, and everything's been hidden in our face now the whole time, you know. So it's like our job is just to open.
They've been trying to bury shit since the beginning, man. They've been trying to bury it, man. Like I told y'all, shout out to my brother Hawk School. He said they try to bury us in the dirt, not knowing that we were seeds. You feel me? That's deep, man. They try to bury us in the dirt, not knowing that we were seeds. And look how much we've grown intellectually, spiritually, and just naturally knowing ourselves, which is the true power.
Or to lift the veil up a little bit, but it's always been here. You know, we just didn't understand what we were looking at. So it's
Exactly.
always been hidden in plain sight.
And I also wanted to share this canal.
I guess that's the easiest way to get over on people, to get them.
Right. I mean, you train them in what you want them to believe, and don't give them any other information. So this was a canal that I found in Uzbekistan, in Tashkent, which is the capital. And the name of the canal is the Angkor Canal. Angkor. Ankhor canal in Uzbekistan. And I found this from traveling the alignments, and I learned so much in those journeys. And ask yourself, what is an Angkor canal doing in Uzbekistan?
Oh yeah, isn't that in Thailand?
Well, that particular one is in Central Asia, in Uzbekistan
Or Cambodia. Cambodia.
But there's an Angkor Wat in Cambodia.
Yeah.
Which is in alignment with the constellation Draco, I believe. This is a canal in a different place with the same name. Or same sounding name.
Yeah.
Which is an Egyptian sounding name.
Uh-huh.
And like I said, there's just so much. And I encourage people, just go start looking around your own communities, because I can guarantee you will find things. You just have to look at it with new eyes and start questioning the narrative and question what they tell you about things when they were built and that kind of thing. Because it's there. Courthouses, schools. One of my favorite examples of a high school is El Paso High School. I'm going to pull that up. What they didn't turn into legislative buildings, they turned into schools or theaters or whatever. I mean, look at this place. This is a high school.
Oh, wow. That's in El Paso? Wow.
In El Paso, Texas. And then there's other examples of high schools.
Oh, hell no. Hell to the no. Bitch, this is an old Olmec stadium that they used to play football out of. Come on now. This is an old Olmec stadium. Fully intact. Hell no. I'm not going with that. They didn't build no high school looking like no motherfucking Olmec football. That's the old football stadium that done turned into a high school. Hell no, we not going with that. That's not no motherfucking high school, fam. Straight up. That's not no high school, fam. That shit's amazing right there. I wish we can get a zoom in on that one.
That are just as elaborate. This is Duluth High School in, let's see. Maybe I should type in Old Central High School in Duluth is what I'm looking for. That was a high school.
Oh, wow.
Get the fuck out of here. That's a high school. That's amazing. I'm telling y'all, this is what they reconverted it into now, is a high school. These motherfuckers is ancient structures. Who knows what this was used for? This could have been one of them buildings that where you stay at. It could have been an ancient free hotel that you just stay at. You just pack up when you traveling. Your taxes was already connected, and you just stay there. We read them shits in the encyclopedia. They said they had them all throughout the North America, South America. Buildings for motherfucking traveling centers is what they call them. Ancient traveling centers. You mean to tell me they didn't have no shit like that? Come on, y'all. They done reconverted this shit, man. This shit ain't no high school. That's crazy.
and so on and so on.
Yeah.
It even had bells in the top.
Wow.
So I said the lies start falling apart when you start looking, and you just have to realize it's all based on lies.
Yeah. I saw also some imagery. I think that you had like from the World's Fair.
Mm-hmm.
There's like some of the older World Fairs. I don't even know if they do this anymore. But just like in Chicago, maybe in St. Louis.
Mm-hmm. So the story that goes along with the World Fair starting around 1851 and on through probably about 1950. So let's say about 100 years worth of World's Fairs were these beautiful old world buildings that were said to have been temporary constructions for the World's Fair. Whole song and dance story going along with them about how they came into existence. But when you look at the World's Fairs, so you mentioned the Chicago World's Fair. So let me pull that up. They destroyed it all after the fair. So I think what they were doing was they were showcasing what they wanted people to see and taking credit for it. And then it was either stolen or destroyed or hidden away or something. But Chicago used to look like this. And this is just one. I mean, if you look at Omaha, Nebraska, same thing.
And they just, what do they say? This was all made out of plaster, like.
Yeah, plaster, wood. This is in Omaha in 1898. The White City World's Fair in London is another, gorgeous one. And this one was about 19. Okay, here's one of them. So this was in London. All gone. And it's clearly Moorish architecture.
Listen, this same little imagery that you see right here, I swear to God, I was watching Aquaman and they flashed through the scene so quick. It was showing how Atlantis was. I swear to God. And he had a nigga holding up a statue. It had the buildings in the side, just like what you see right here in this image right here. I swear to God. I even showed that shit on my Instagram. I took a story. I couldn't believe it. I was in the bed. I was in fucking laying down about to doze off. I said, oh, hell no. Let me get up and show this. That shit was amazing, fam. I ain't even gonna lie. That shit crazy.
All gone. And it's clearly Moorish architecture.
Yeah, and it makes no sense. Why? Even the narrative that we're given, that they did this for show. I guess to impress other countries.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't really make sense.
Yeah, because it's BS. I'll be.
It is BS. It's total BS. Man, shout out to everybody in the building, man. We got 278, man. We almost hit 300 in here, man. We can hit 300 if we get everybody to share the live stream at least one time. At least one time, man. Share the live stream at least once, man. Shout out to all the American Aborigines in the building, man. I appreciate y'all for tapping in, man. Like I said, I like to chop it up with y'all too about certain shit because y'all smart as fuck. And we all smart. We just come together and have a fucking beautiful conversation, chopping up this history and getting to the truth of shit. So how y'all feel about this? You know what I'm saying? And oh yeah, by the way, man, if you want to support the channel, Cash App and PayPal information is at the bottom of the screen, man. Cash App and PayPal information is at the bottom of the screen, man. Make sure y'all support the channel, man. Drop a fire emoji in here if y'all can hear me loud and clear. You know You understand me? But yeah, man, the lies that they tell us in these fabricated stories and the reconverting of our old structures and the imagery and the stories of these slave, pain, beat, brutal, primitive, Aboriginal Indian stories that they give you is all bullshit. We the gods. Like they don't want to tell you that. We the gods. We the God. So we're going to tell you that this up and coming Sunday, August the 7th, 8 o'clock Eastern PM, 8 o'clock PM Eastern Standard Time. Make sure y'all purchase the pay-per-view. All the information is in the description box below, man. Make sure y'all go check out the pay-per-view, man. Support the channel. Support. You feel me? Get the pay-per-view, man. We're gonna show y'all that we the gods. Facts. That you descend from them people. That you got that blood in you got that memory, you got them cells, you got that process. That's why we be doing all these inventions. Ain't nothing new under the sun. You just descend from the niggas who originally did it. Facts. You don't even know it yet. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Make sure y'all support the channel, man. Support the channel if y'all enjoying the build. Cash out and PayPal.
Be nice and use the initials. it's total BS. But they because it's a gateway subject for this whole topic, they've managed to convince some people that would otherwise not be convinced by putting in like Photoshop pictures of it being constructed when it was supposed to have been constructed and things like that. So so they flooded the internet a little bit with that. But I think most people, if you're really critically thinking about it, will see right through that, because there's no way.
Yeah, just the story that we're given doesn't really make any sense at all, right? As someone just said in the chat, they tell us that Moorish architecture is Roman.
Hi, Matt.
All right. Yeah, so I apologize for that. So yeah, it's definitely like just opening up a can of worms, and especially since we can just walk around. I mean, you can go downtown probably regardless of where you live, whether it's a big town or a city, small town, and you can look at just look at the architecture and some of the maybe like the Catholic churches, or just some of the the, like you said before, the Capitol buildings. The Capitol building in Charleston, West Virginia is immaculate. Like it has this big, huge gold dome, and then of course, like any Capitol building, you go in on the inside, it has all of the sculpture or paintings on the ceiling, and it's incredible. There's a art museum where I'm at. I'm in Columbus, Ohio, and you can tell which part of the building is old, and then the new structure. Like the new structure kind of blends into the old, so half of the building.
Yeah, that's how they do it. They reconvert it. A lot of these structures downtown. Go look at any of your federal buildings, any of your courts, old court halls. Go to your downtown municipal buildings. Go to your art museums. Go down to your, you see what I'm saying? These are your old structures that you're looking at down there. Seriously.
Or maybe less than half of the buildings been constructed probably in the last 30 years. And but when you go into the old part, there's and you look up at the ceiling, there's like Egyptian sculptures, like Isis and different Egyptian gods carved in stone, and it's immaculate, right? And then the whole building is like made out of stone. The new part, it's got the minimalist, new architecture style, and it's like, what's going on here?
Right. I said, just look at everything differently, and you'll see what you're seeing. Also, I don't want to forget to mention it, is the whole, hi there, streetcars. They took out the electric streetcar system that was all over the world, and small towns and big towns. And they got it restarted, starting around the 1850s, and I think this.
How come they don't talk about the streetcars that they took out? That was around the world, because there was electrical car systems that was already here. How do you know that? Because we can prove that ancient people built highways 2,000, 3,000 years ago throughout America. Ancient highways. They call them super highways. Y'all learn something about that. Y'all gonna learn something about that. Okay? This up and coming Sunday, August the 7th, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Big Aboriginal Power and Taunton this one. Jaguar Omax, man, the American Gods pay-per-view. Make sure y'all purchase that. It's in the description box below, man. Let's continue to love.
The official start of the historical narrative was 1851 with the Crystal Palace exhibition in London. So that was like the first really big World's Fair that we were talking about. So sometime in the 1850s is when you start seeing that that streetcars were being pulled by mules, and then they were able to get it electrified. And they used the streetcars until they got the cars invented and the buses in place and the gasoline to run them. And then they started dismantling the streetcar systems. And this included incline railways too. Pittsburgh has 2 that are still functioning. A lot of places had incline railways, and they're gone, and the streetcars are long gone too. And I tell people, I mean, just look in your own city and Google historical streetcars in so and so, and they took them out so they could bring in a new transportation system that they could get wealthy off of, either with the manufacture of the vehicles or the gas needed. How John D. Rockefeller got so wealthy with Standard Oil. They've been making money hand over fist on the system that they put in. And you look at Hollywood and predictive programming, and they're required to tell us what they're doing, but they don't tell us they are telling us. And so we're paying for our own brainwashing every time we go to a movie. It's kind of think of The Matrix as a documentary. That there's something really deep in there. And if nothing else, take away from this to start asking questions and looking at things differently, because the lies are off the charts.
Yes, definitely. And like you said, it's funny that, everything is depicted, for us in pop culture. So, maybe there's something karmically with that, where, they have to tell what they're doing, right. But it's always been right in our eyes. Right. And one thing too, there's an image up here that says Moorish Palace, Chicago World Fair, 1893. And they're telling us that they just made these just out of plaster. They were just built temporarily for show, and it doesn't really make any sense. None of this stuff makes any sense.
Right. And if you look up Wikipedia articles about these World's Fairs and other things like that, you'll have, they'll have a list of all the names of all the people that were involved in it and all that kind of thing. And so they're telling tales to explain everything, but that's all they are. Cemeteries are interesting places too, I must say, the older ones. Something going on with those too. Not what we're told.
Definitely. Yeah, I agree. And you know what? One thing too, I just wanted to share this image just because it's amazing to see. But like when you were speaking about the cataclysms that happen around the world, you have things like this that exist, and this is obviously ancient. Like there's no cover up about the fact that this is ancient, and that modern archaeologists don't really truly know how it was done. Right. There's I believe this is in the same country that oh my gosh, Petra is in. I
in Jordan.
You have several buildings like this that are just carved out of solid rock, and we don't know. Like, you just looking at this, something may have happened that covered this up, or maybe it was just built out of stone, right? But some of these things you look at, I mean, the doorways are humongous, right? You can't really tell because this is a picture, but if you're on the ground, you'll see that the doorway is like 20 or 30 feet high. The ceilings are extremely high. The columns are high. It's like this wasn't even built for normal size humans. And we see this stuff all over the world.
I'm going to share
and they'll just say, oh, are you trying to share something? Let me take that down.
Yeah, let me share. One of my favorite examples is the Supreme Court building in Washington, D.C. Okay.
Yep.
So you know what story goes along with this one?
What's that?
It was built in between 1932 and 1935. Is what they're telling us. Built between 1932 and 1935. And look at the size of that thing. Besides the fact, you were pointing out the size difference with the old architecture in Jordan. Same idea. This was not built by small people for small people.
Yeah, no way.
And the comment previously about Roman architecture. Yeah, I mean, it's all.
Man, this shit is amazing. There's no way they built this shit in the early 1800s at the beginning of their industrial building age. You know what I'm saying? They just came out of the wooden wagons and wooden shack age, and they start building shit like this in the beginning of their startup. It don't make sense. It don't make no sense. And then you dwindle down from there. Like, it don't make no sense. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Shout out to everybody in the building. I appreciate everybody for tapping in. Hit the like button as you come in. Shout out to Wayne Richards for supporting the channel, sending in the Cash App donation, supporting the $2 challenge. So he said, supporting my bro. He said, for supporting my bro. Shout out to my boy. Shout out to my boy, Wayne Richards, man. Make sure y'all support the channel, man. Don't let Wayne Richards be the only one supporting Big Aboriginal Power platform today. We just bringing the thought process. We just challenging the narrative. We all doing this. We got 303 people in here, and all of y'all are here challenging and questioning the narrative because y'all know that it's been lies told to us. Facts. Shout out to y'all in the building.
Orange. And
it's one thing I would just ask is if you were able to do that in the 1930s or before, because some of them they say are older than that in the 1800s, why not do it now?
Exactly.
That's more impressive than some of the things that are being built, not like the new architecture styles. It's like, why not just make one just to show that you can actually do it?
I mean, all the stuff I see going up are like plywood and particle board. I don't know about where you live.
Yeah.
And then one of the excuses they give for tearing down the older masonry is that it's
definitely
the reason they give more often than not for tearing down the old buildings is that it's dangerous or in poor repair, and it's like, yeah, right. It's just a very flimsy excuse for getting rid of this. And I think all of everything on the built by the Moors was built for a reason and a purpose, like a circuit board. It was serving some kind of function on Earth's energy grid. And
definitely,
they spent a lot of time dismantling it, but they keep some buildings around. They haven't destroyed them all, but they've destroyed a lot of them. I took a look at some beautiful buildings in Detroit. I want to say it's called the Guardian Building. The Fisher Building and the Guardian Building.
Yes.
Are just absolutely gorgeous buildings. And I want to give this as an example because most buildings that look like this are gone.
All right.
And so this is the Guardian building in Detroit.
Wow. Yeah.
And it long gone.
Yeah.
Very rare to see this kind of buildings left standing.
Definitely.
There's another one in Tulsa called the Minx Adams building. That's also a gorgeous building. This is in Tulsa.
Yeah.
There's some stuff on the top I'm looking for. I don't see it. So it's, oh, this is it. And it was in Oklahoma that I really first started waking up to this. And pieces all started to come together. And without having a Moorish friend, I would not have gotten the piece about the Moors, and I would have been, scratching my head and wondering like everybody else, who built this?
Yeah, it's definitely it's the missing piece of the puzzle. It's the missing piece of the puzzle, and like you were saying, I think that you have like this power structure now trying to tap into the ancient way of doing things for their own benefit, like not knocking the church, but you have the like what they say is the largest pyramid in the world, I guess by volume, in Mexico, and you have the church built right on top of the pyramid. So somewhere there was an understanding when the Spanish were coming here that, hey, we might not want to excavate this right now, but this is where we need to build our church, because there's a reason why this pyramid was built here.
Right.
And so for most of us, we just would look at that and think it was built on top of a hill.
Right. And I think that story is repeated over and over again. And I even question, I think a lot of the architecture is original architecture, and they've just made up a story about it. Also, there was something else that came to mind. I've got so much I could talk about for hours. So I apologize. It's like there's so much I want to cover. Yeah. I see the comment about growing up in Massachusetts.
All right.
Watching the old city get destroyed. And, again, I think that scenario, has been going on in our lifetimes. I'm 58. I'll be 59 in July. And I grew up in a suburb of Washington. And there were things I started realizing about the area where I grew up. I grew up next to a golf course. I think our house was on top of a flat top pyramid. And these were things that I realized after I started waking up to it. Earthworks all over the place. Golf courses are mounds.
Yeah.
Star forts. That's what I wanted to mention. Star forts are the colonizers made a beeline for the star forts on the alignments. So I've looked at a lot of places where, when the Spanish went in to the Philippines, and I'm finding star forts there. And I think star forts were originally circuitry on the grid system and wasn't military in nature. Yeah, Matt, I agree. I think it's older than that. They've just they tell so many stories about things.
They have so many lies going, they don't even know which lie they told.
Exactly. It's getting to that point, and a lot more people asking the questions than before.
Yeah.
So there's still a lot of people that are asleep to it, but more and more people are looking for answers.
Oh yeah.
And the trick is how to get this out into the mainstream, and hopefully it gets there sooner rather than later.
Oh yeah. So you can see like you were saying before, like the push being put out there to to try to, I guess you could say to try to push this out to the side to try to make fun of this, the same way they did with the flat earth thing. They want to lampoon it so that anyone who is even thinking outside the box will automatically like step back, because they don't want to be associated with something that's being painted as crazy, conspiracy. And so I already see that occurring. And I mean, I agree. Like it has to happen. We can't. We're in the age of Aquarius. We can't continue to go on with the lies. I mean, one thing that we can do, that everybody can do. Make sure you share this video. Make sure you go to Michelle's channel and subscribe and share her videos as well. We have to write books. No one's gonna teach it. I mean, they've got it where at the university level, if you want to get published and you want to be accredited and all of these things, like you can't talk about any of this.
It's absolutely critical to get it out. We have no future if we stay stuck in the same old beliefs. I mean, this is an existential threat to all of humanity. What's going on?
I agree.
And so, thankfully, a lot of things are coming together and converging for people to wake up. And a lot of people ask, well, what can we do? And you were just talking about it a lot. Is you just pass it along. And not everybody's ready for it, but a lot of people are. It's not something I can talk about with my family. They're not there. It's like I was the one that lived a very different life, and that was another reason I was able to wake up to it. I've always done things that people didn't expect me to do, and so I haven't lived a conventional life whatsoever.
Yeah, I understand.
So I was able to receive the correct information and the truth, and the universe is more than happy to share, with willing vessels, if you will. It's just waiting to come back out.
Yeah. So I think this is the way to do it. It's got to be a grassroots thing, right? There's not going to be big time commercial. Corporate, money behind it, trying to get it out there. So it's got to come from the people. It has to be a movement of the people, with us sharing it and spreading the information amongst each other.
Yeah, I mean, it's waking up. They have to have our consent, and the only way they've gotten our consent is to lie to us. Humanity is a big prize for these guys, and so
and as we start to shift the tide. Yeah, and as we start to shift the tide, they're gonna have to come correct, because we're the ones who are really in control.
Exactly.
And as we understand that, anyone who's pushing this lie, it's gonna get to that point where anyone who's pushing this, this false narrative, they're gonna have to run and hide. They're not gonna be able to show their faces. I mean, we're in the new age. This is the time that it's been written. It's already been deemed. This is what is going on right now. That's why we're here. That's why we're awake, and that's why we're sharing this right now.
I'm so ready for that day. We are there, and if they don't have our consent, then they can't do it. They have to trick us into thinking they're more powerful than we are.
That's right.
And it's not true. But if so there's informed consent and tacit consent. So this hasn't been informed consent, but because people have gone along with it, a lot of people have gone along with it, it's deemed as tacit consent, and that's how they've managed to skirt around the informed part.
That's right. Yep. But I want to commend you on doing a great work. We're doing our part. I can say one thing, like for us here in my household, we have 5 children. And so we're making sure that they're getting this understanding so that they're not limited, right, in their worldview and what they're able to do. And I think just as we do this and more of us are teaching our children and sharing this with others as well who are ready for this, it's going to change, you know. And when you're ahead of the curve, you might feel like it's taking forever, but we're right on time.
Yeah, I've been waiting for 9 years. I mean, I really started waking up in I want to say around 2006, 2007 was when I really started waking up, and I was pretty awake by 2012, and I was following the end of the Mayan calendar, and I woke up to a lot more about that. And then between 2012 and 2016 was when I woke up to the ancient civilization, but I also woke up to how dark the dark is and what's been going on here. And then, you know, got my call to start doing my own work, and you know, that's taken me to places I never even imagined.
Wow.
You know, and
I understand.
And what's happened here is that bad. It is that bad. It's worse.
Yeah, it's criminal. Yep, it's criminal. And you know, I think like with all of the things that are going on, I mean, even some of the things that may seem terrible, things like the pandemic and all of these things, they're all serving their purpose to wake more people up. It's making more people start to question their reality and start to think outside the box. So it's happening right now, whether we realize it or not. All right. And definitely. I want to thank you for coming on the show. We're going to go ahead and wrap things up. Definitely would like to have you back on. I want to ask everyone watching to please share this video, and also make sure you check out Michelle's channel. All of her links.
Man, yeah, man, this was a dope live stream. Just some thought-provoking questions. A lot of thought-provoking. I guess I'll drop the link, man. If anybody want to come on and build to this topic, man, these great structures, these monuments, the covering up, fake civil war. I mean, what's going on here, man? It's a lot of bullshit. Hit the link. The link is in the chat, man. I'm going to give y'all 60 seconds to hit the link, share the live stream, and to thumb up the video, man. And also to support the channel, man. Support the channel. Support the channel. This is the Wake and Bake channel, man. Let me give y'all 60 seconds. We'll be right back.
Yeah. Hey, man, all I'm saying is, nigga, you always got something to say. It's like you don't shut up.
On the track.
A lot of niggas died 1865. Single Michael fled, how I ain't gon' let it ride. Everybody hot and black was never on your side. They do maps to tell your apps where you sleep at night. They put that white man on. Got you begging them for answers like that white man know. Had you swearing you was African, that's that white man home. Had you proud to be a savage, that's that white man zone. And I ain't talking shit, this by definition. And being savage was our nature, y'all be non-existent. We done took your ass out when we was in them kitchens. Instead of showing you how to live and how to maintain business. White supremacy fake. Only way that shit real is if you do what they say.
Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Make sure y'all hit that link, man. The link is in the chat. Shout out to Empress Namas for the supporting the $1 challenge, the $2 challenge. She said, have to watch from the beginning. Yeah, check out the beginning, man. Go check out this build, the dope build. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it. The link is in the chat, man. Let's get a conversation on here. Rudy Root, come on here and talk about your ex-girlfriend you was knocking down. Boy, you done talked about all the history. You done spilled up all the beans over there, pillow talking to Miss Michelle. What you over there doing, boy? She done put that whop on you? Root, come on. We got to talk about that, buddy. That nigga was over there pillow talk. He said, yeah, you know the motherfucking Moors? The Moors built all these structures here. This the ancient Amaru. I digress. That nigga root words. Hey, on the mistouching this one. On the mistouching this one. Hit the link, man. What's up with it? Y'all funny as hell. Root Words was over there pillow talking. That nigga was over there. That nigga was over there pillow talking like a motherfucker. Shout out to my homie. He dropped all the beans. That's why Michelle on her dropping that science. And it's funny, she be going in on them waterways and them ley lines too, just like Root Words. Like I was listening, I'm like, this sound like Root Word, a fire ass Root Word bill. The fuck? Somebody said that WAP means wet armpits. I'm fucking on the floor. Wet armpits. Y'all niggas be well. Hey, Root Words, come on, man. Let's talk about mounds. Let's talk about these waterways. Hit that link, Root. Hit that link, nah. Somebody hit the link before we get out of here, man. I don't want to leave it like that. I want to let y'all get a chance to build on this. Y'all know I'm just bullshit. Root be going in, though. Hey, I'm the Aboriginal archaeologist around this bitch. It's a couple of them around here. I'm the anthropologist too, and the geologist forensics. You understand me? Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Shout out to everybody in the motherfucking building, man. Y'all know the vibes right now, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button. We're trying to get a few people on here right now. I'm trying to see what's up with it. Trying to get a few people on here right now. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with it. Greek Romans. The Romans invaded Egypt. Yeah, Rome invaded Egypt. Rome was in Georgia. So you got the battle between Georgia and what else? The Chattahoochee. The river, the battle that happened on the Chattahoochee, which is in Chattanooga. Right there by Memphis. You know what I'm saying? What you said, Chick Harmony, about the scholarful chief. You understand me? The scholarful chief, goddamn. You understand me? And they don't call me chief because I'm the leader. They call me chief because I be smoking you motherfucking niggas. Nigga, about the scholarly chief. Nigga, big wake and bake shit, nigga. What you talking about? Nah, I'm just playing. Root and Michelle. Somebody said Root and Michelle got a son that looks like Drake. I'm on the floor. Look like Drake. Let me find out, Root Word. That's why you keep trying to say Billy's from America. You trying to justify why you was over there tapping on Miss Michelle. Yeah, we know what's up with you, Root. And he can say, hey, you know, I'm a Moor. I'm a Moor from America. We don't believe in the African shit. I digress. And Michelle will put your ass to sleep too, talking too. She be like, the motherfucking ley lines is over here. And I believe in my own righteous thought that these are from Moorish architect. Like, hurry up and say what you trying to say, lady. But no, I'm just playing. She be dropping that heat though. Shout y'all know I play too much. Shout out to Michelle Gibson. Y'all know I play too much. Y'all know I play way too goddamn much. Shout out to her. She was dropping that heat though. Ain't nobody seen Judge Joe Brown in a while. Ain't nobody seen Judge Joe Brown in a minute. I ain't seen that nigga in a minute, boy. Somebody said homie landed his plane in Michelle Airport.
Hey, yo, Empress Numbers. This is me. This is Root Word. This ain't Aboriginal Power or Animus Tantimus one. I digress. We got 111 Truth Searcher, and we got Nonetheless on here.
Boy,
don't cut me off, yo. Don't cut me off, yo.
Boy.
Nah, what up, yo?
What's up, dog? What's up, man?
What up, Root Word? What up, Truth? AP,
good?
what's up with it,
What's
big
up,
man?
Told y'all that was Root Words really up for me.
Nah, that was your ass, boy. Your ass funny.
Y'all wild as hell, man. Salute to the panel. Salute that power.
Y'all niggas funny as hell, boy. Y'all got me over here cracking the fuck up. Nah, that really wasn't me, y'all. That was Root Words on her. That was not me. Empress Namas. Y'all know I don't sound like it. Y'all
right.
know that me.
Yeah, I don't really like that Confederate flag.
Oh shit!
Now we know who that nigga is, yo.
Yeah, bring that back up one day, man. Keep that in the closet one day, man. Bring that back out one day.
Nah,
man.
that was a real nigga, bro. That wasn't me, bro.
I put this on Montezuma. It's really not true. I'm telling y'all, it's really not true. He can't even sound like Shabute. Boy, that nigga.
Nah, I'm just saying we need that in the community, man. Motherfuckers be too serious sometimes, man.
Yeah, we gotta jump a little bit.
Yeah, I agree, yo. You guys got to have laugh, yo. You know what I mean?
Right. I'll be doing all y'all funny ass voices, especially Root Words. Root Words the funniest ones to do. Him and George Brown.
No, yo, I'm gonna tell you who got a nice impersonation. I ain't gonna say who he yo. Matter of fact, shout out to Yo's born day today. I talked to him his birthday today. He just turned 40. The 40 club and shit today, yo. So when y'all see Yo's, Lil Yo's, yo, you know what I mean?
Yo's, man. Let me shout out to my brother Lil Yo's, man. Let me wish him a happy belated or happy birthday to my brother.
Yeah, today, yo. You know what I mean?
Hey, to my
y'all
boy.
saying.
And to Earth Day, man. Peace and bliss. Make sure y'all show some love to my boy Lil Yo's Rios in the chat. Even though if he ain't even in here, show him some love anyways in the chat, man. Put that in the app.
Yeah, I don't know if he in here. He called me and shit, you know what I mean? But yeah, man, everything motherfucking cool and shit. Yeah, I like how that white lady be going in, yo, on some shit. You feel me? On the ley lines and shit. You feel me? The Star Force, yo. You know what I mean?
What's going on?
But yo, for real talk, I was doing some like little construction in my backyard, right? I'm putting up this like little gazebo. And yo, you know, when I was digging, nigga, I was finding mad big ass rocks and shit, bro. So I'm like, damn. I'm wondering, it got me thinking, like, nigga, we ain't have to use no wood, nigga. We could when we dig in the ground, we can just dig up shit to build shit with, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that shit out, yo, we wasn't relying on no motherfucking trees and shit, nigga. We was doing shit just from the earth. You know what I mean?
Motherfucker, make some concrete on your stupid ass. So build some bricks up and put some stones together.
Yeah, put them motherfuckers up and build a motherfucking big ass skyscraper with that motherfucking shit, bro.
A huge structure, beautiful architect with design in it.
Yeah.
Hey, what's the address for your pay channel for the up and coming show this Sunday? Hey man, all the information for the pay-per-view is in the description box. Maybe I'll put that in the it's in the description box for sure. So go to the description, Rule Miles. Appreciate you for asking, brother. Appreciate you for asking, man. But yeah, man, it's a lot of these great structures, man. And you got niggas that'll give this shit credit to somebody else, man. Niggas like they be trying to get this shit to Africa and everything else, boy. Man, what's up, True? What you been up to, man?
She be lightweight. She want an American man for real. Just the way because she delivers the shit like you can't leave America out of it. Every time, like when she used to come on, she put 5 pictures up and say, well, this one picture from Europe. Well, this one picture from Asia. But these 2 pictures right here from the Americas. So she be putting us in that great history. I respect her for that, but I digress.
Yeah, she be putting us in that great history, bro. Straight up. Shout out to Michelle, bro. Hey, you tapping Michelle, bro? Let me hear it, bro. I heard through the grapevine, man.
I'll tap her for the team, man. As long as she keeps saying we from here, man. I got it, man.
We were funny as hell. Somebody said Root be thirsty. They get off my boy Root. Don't do it. Stall him out. Hey man.
We're trying to get our social security check and shit.
For real though. Motherfuckers are trying to get that social.
I'm getting over to Europe, goddammit.
Yeah, we're crazy, yo. Yeah, you know, I mean, she right though about the whole truth shit got to come out, yo. Or we ain't gonna be able to move forward. You feel me? And I think that's what they got us stuck in this motherfucking dimension right now, yo. They keep lying. We just running in a circle. And what happened if you go in a circle, nigga? You get dizzy. You know what I mean?
We got Anglo Saxton on here. What's going on, Anglo? Shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody in the building. Hey, Mikey G13, the artist that I play is named Hellyway. You can go look him up on YouTube, Instagram, SoundCloud, Spotify, you know what I'm saying, Tidal, all that shit. Go look up Hellyway. That's HELLYWAY, Hellyway. You know what I'm saying? The name of the song that y'all hear is One Eye Open. You got a couple other ones, I think, that's on there. So, man, go support that and run that up.
For sure, yeah. We definitely go check that out.
You keep talking about her.
Something I learned, that the system is falling, as they say. You know what I'm saying? America is falling. Whatever the European system ain't running the way they want it to be running. So they taking a whole bunch of these European shit. So a lot of these Europeans are trying to get together, and they understand the only way that they can come in the centerfold with the law is to tell the Aboriginals, the Negroes, whatever we call ourselves, the truth. Because they forgot that they ain't from here. That like they be saying, oh, we're American, and they forgot when the law came down. Well, I said, look, you motherfuckers ain't American. So they told the law, we gonna tell that you ain't American neither. And that's what these hunkies Billy's trying to do, is tell us the truth. Just like Noble Drew Ali said, like, look, man, 90% of these Moors, he said only a handful of Moors gonna tell you the truth. He said these Billy's gonna be telling you a lot of good shit you need to listen. But I digress, man.
Yeah, see, these white people be spilling the beans sometimes when they be getting shined away, and they, you know what I mean, they dropping the beans,
spilling the beans.
And I grind that shit up, you know what I mean, give it to y'all in the morning time, wake y'all niggas up with the coffee. You see what I'm saying? I done picked up them beans and made some coffee for y'all niggas in the waking bay. You understand me? It's better than Folgers. You understand me? You gonna get that good wakening up. You gotta eat. Yeah, pick up them beans that they spilling, man. They dropping little jewels. You gotta pick them up. You feel what I'm saying? And what we all know as a collective, you know what I'm saying, that this shit is a lie. They lied to us. Once we caught the first lie, we just start finding more. It's like a chain reaction. See, you see what I'm saying? It became an infection in your brain. Once you caught the lie, you be like, these lying mother. You understand me? Seriously. And then as we start to pick up the line, we trying to get our history, we finding little proxies acting like that's their history. We start to figure out that we the Mayans, we the Olmec, Toltec. You know what I mean? These are people. Now we looking at little Mexicans claiming that they the Mayans, that they the Aztec and Olmec. What's up with these little motherfucking Mexicans? You understand me? These Mexicans ain't no motherfucking Olmecs, man. Just because you see these Mexicans putting up a weak ass, cheap ass roof, don't mean they built no motherfucking pyramids, man. Them little Mexicans come from Asians. And Asians copy and make the wakest, wackest, fakest shit ever. Shit don't last worth a damn. Might look good. Might look a little similar. But we know them little Asians be copying and making fake shit. They've been doing that since the beginning of time. And these little Mexicans descend from these people. So you don't think they faking some shit too?
You know what I look at Mexicans as? I look at them motherfuckers as mixed people, man. A mixed people that has sex with a mixed person. And that's how you come up with another race. Like if a white person and a black person have sex, they kid gonna come out looking like a Washita Indian, one of them mixed motherfucker, mulattoes or something. Then if two mulattoes have sex, there's where you get your other race at, out of aggressive.
Yep, there you go.
I don't think two mulattoes make a Mexican. Impossible. Impossible.
I'm saying the only way to get that complexion of brown, in my opinion, is a so-called white person and a so-called black person having sex. Then that kid gonna come out mulatto.
You gotta go to Cambodia. You gotta go to Philippines. You feel what I'm saying? You gotta go to motherfucking Bangkok somewhere. You know, go look at them dark motherfucking Asians, man.
Yeah, that's true. That's saying that there's been a whole bunch of dark Asians and light Asians fucking to get Chinese. There's been a whole bunch of light Americans and dark Americans and light whoever the fuck they is. They've been fucking. That's all I'm saying. That's how you get another race, in my opinion.
Them little motherfuckers ain't our people, man. You see them little slanted eye fuckers, man. You look at a Mexican. When I first seen a Mexican back in 2002, when I seen them bitches back in Tennessee, motherfucker didn't know what them was. Motherfucker didn't know what them little things was. Come here, little thing. We don't know what the fuck that is. We try to feed that little motherfucker. We don't know if that little Asian, man, we was like, we didn't know if this was an Asian, a motherfucking East Indian. We didn't know what the fuck it was, man. Them people ain't our people, man. They ain't no goddamn mix with us.
Now, I don't think they belong to USA.
Hell no.
That's the right way to say it.
They don't belong to America.
For some reason, add power. There was the Mexican and Spanish War in the 1860s, so them motherfuckers had our backs, or they was with us, bro. Something like that, bro. I don't know how to explain that to. I would agree.
Bro, the war that you gotta realize when you first started saying Spanish, right? And when you gotta realize that when Cortez came, Tenochtitlan was thriving. Root words. You know what Tenochtitlan is? Do I need to break down? Tenochtitlan was this metropolis city built by Aborigines, and we had Mongoloid slaves, just like you see on this screen right here. We had little Mongoloid slaves, and by the time Cortez came in, see, this is how you get the story. Cortez came in around California, met up with my nigga Montezuma and them. You feel what I'm saying? Met up with Montezuma and them in Tenochtitlan, a metropolis, and we had little Mongoloid slaves. The Mongoloids really who led the Cortez and them into Tenochtitlan. That was like, man, listen, some niggas over here, they got all the money. We ran away. Y'all caught us, but we're going to take y'all to the niggas who really got what's popping. They ran into Montezuma and them, try to evade, and got their little monkey asses whooped. That was the start of these little Mongoloids acting like they Spanish when they really Asian invaders. This was the start. See, y'all don't even realize it. This was the start of the Chino fake Native American understanding. Them little motherfuckers was our slaves, man.
I just think that this land right here, the more and more I read into history, from the Rio Grande, which is Mexico and Texas border, all the way up to Canada, I think that was some prime real estate where we was the custodians of something of the world. I don't know what it was, but something in Canada and the United States was held on a higher level.
Hey, look, this is from the Mendoza Codex. And look at these buildings.
Mexico, bro. Mexico, something special about that land, man. And I think the Mexicans, man, know they us, man. But we don't know that we're just waking up that we're from this land.
Hey, Smoke Signal, I feel you on that one, boy. I ain't lying. You know what I could do right now? Nigga, I have a pyramid built in a backyard if I had about 2 or 3 little mongoloids.
And when we say slave, my opinion of it, like when people when them so-called Europeans would come over here or the Mongols would come over here, I think they was enslaved to our paternal order of.
Hey, y'all realize this imagery is an actual authentic imagery. This is a drawing, but this is a drawing from the Aboriginal people. This is from a codex. This is from a Mayan codex found inside of a pyramid in Mexico.
I believe it.
This goes back about 1,000 years ago.
And I hate to admit it, man. It's saying that there was some type of presence of other people over here.
Yeah, they invaded. They even got the story. When we first invaded them, we snatched them the fuck up. We didn't know what this little thing was. Ruth, listen, when we snatched them up, this is what it looked like. A big, tall nigga snatching up a little Asian. Simple.
Shit. That dude, I mean, I can respect what you're saying before the gun. That's just, we were just probably a little more aggressive. I could see that though, but just
after we subdued them, we did mate with them. So you start to get different phenotypes like this amongst us. You see what I'm saying? This is from the Popol Vuh from about 500 years ago. Okay. But during this whole time, even in the 1500s leading up, you got structures like that you see behind Montezuma left and right shoulders happening. This is in California, Tenochtitlan Land, Nevada, the whole West Coast. During the time when America haven't even made the nation out that way yet. The country wasn't even out that way yet.
When we get to these spook ass God stories that's talking about man and mankind, I don't think the Europeans are mankind. I don't think the Africans are mankind. I don't think the Chinese are mankind. I think from Mexico down is mankind. They kind of us. My opinion of it. I digress, brother.
Yeah, they kind of mankindish. You see what I'm saying? But a lot of this history is deep, man. We got Anglo on here. What's up, Anglo? You back? Man, we all connected, man. These are our ancestors. Don't let you think that these little motherfuckers, if they was here, we wouldn't be snatching these little things up like this. And they butt naked. We like, what the fuck is this? You see what I'm saying? We snatching little things up like this. Like, yo, what is this?
Doom. What the fuck is that?
You know they had that little mongoloid effect where they was a little, let me be respectful.
Shit, that picture look crazy.
Hey, P, you said they was like, no, don't wig, bro. Boom, boom. What the fuck is that?
They got down here. We hit them with a little stick. Hello. What's going on, Anglo? You're low as hell. What's going on with it? Hello, we can hear you.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes. Can you hear us?
Hello, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, you gotta come out and come back on, brother. We ain't got time.
He might can't hear you.
We got niggas gotta start fixing them mics, man. Man, listen. This Juntile now. See, this is why, and y'all got the nerve to think that Chinese people know all this Kung Fu. Why the fuck they weren't doing Kung Fu when my nigga Quetzalcoatl snatched that little thing up? Huh? What was Jet Li's skills at then? Fuck out of here. Fake ass movies. Y'all paying for your own brainwash. This little egg roll right here. Little egg roll. This little General Souls. You know what I'm saying?
You got to make a good point though, because when I be watching the show called Gunner's Collection, and there's two more Mexicans, I forget their names. They California dudes that just got out of jail. And they be saying, look, yeah, we run LA with an iron fist, but we do it by numbers because niggas is just too big. They flat out say that. Like, yeah, we got the numbers, but boy, if it was some one-on-one shit, it might be ugly for us. They plainly say that shit.
Man, you think it's more Mexicans in America than it is niggas, they got you.
I didn't say that. I said California, brother. Yes, there's tenfold in California. No, I'm just going off your point that we're bigger than them and that picture could make sense. Just cause one-on-one or when the numbers are even, man, we some mighty giant motherfuckers, especially if the gun ain't around. We lightweight unbeatable.
Now you got this big You got this big cornbread, corn-fed Aboriginal, stocky than a motherfucker, probably played football, real football back in the day, against this little motherfucking thing right here, man. Come on, man. Against little teriyaki and chicken. Come on, man. That shit ain't nothing. Against a little rice patty. Come on, man.
They lightweight said that's how the Aryan Brotherhood and the Mexican Mafia really was started before the drug game. They said they just couldn't beat the niggas. They said, man, we tired of being in jail getting hit up on these niggas, so we gonna have to form us some shit and jump these niggas. That's just my opinion of how most of these gangs got started, because they was going up against a whole bunch of niggas. It just wasn't no win for them, because the picture is really showing that we was just more, like you said, corn-fed. You saying the right thing. I was just trying to prove what you're saying. And all these Mexicans on YouTube right now say the same thing. Yeah, we don't fuck with them niggas like that. Yeah, we'll fuck them niggas up, but we got to jump them motherfuckers. I digress.
Mexicans came on no jumper mad at Tariqnasheed and Flacco. He was like, yo, I watched the video and I have 100 Migos up here. Like, nigga, you don't have 100 people up there for one little dude? Come on, man. Y'all tripping. Get your ass beat the fuck up in here before you even get to call one person. You know what I'm saying? These little Mexicans be overstepping their little boundaries. They just love going across somebody's borders, the borderline.
You know what's accidentally funny? I go over there as Negro Science because I be in the Mexicans chats, and I plainly, because they say the Africanist Americans, and I plan to be in the chat like, we ain't Afrikaners, we indigenous to Americas, we Indians, and half of them be like, you right. That's the best I can say. Half of them be like, wow, you're right. Dude Gunner, that get more views than most of them, he called us an Afrikanist American one time. I said, look, bro, we ain't African American, and you know that. You can tell the difference between an African American and a black. And he said, yeah, you right. I mean, on this show. So I don't think that they're us as, yeah, you right, they're not us, but I think they understand the lineage of they in this land.
I mean, that's if you want foreigners to ever come here, I'm pretty sure you're going to have an understanding of how the niggas move around this motherfucker. You see what I'm saying? These the first foreigners. You don't see us snatching up other blacks as if an African came over here. These Asians was the first invaders.
Yeah, he came on DJ Kukut and Chief Channel last night.
Who did?
The one that was on No Jumper.
The Mexican came on Chief Channel?
Yeah, on DJ Cut Tack when I had interviewed him. He hopped on that. Yeah.
What you talking about, Flacco or the Mexican?
No, the Mexican dude.
Oh man, let me play some of that clip. Let me see.
Yeah, go to it, yo. He came on there and she was going in, but Kuka, he's diplomatic. He wasn't trying to go hard like that. You know what I mean? But yeah, he came on last night.
Oh, I gotta find that, man. People didn't tell me about that, man.
Yeah, it's toward the end, like not all the way, but at the end, but toward the end of the show. He came through because they was doing, reaction to the video too. And then I guess man, DJ Cut, man, he be getting some people on the show. Yeah, go check that out, yo.
About what time frame? Cause that's a 9-hour motherfucking video, man.
Yeah, but it's like I know, yeah, they went in, but it's like toward probably like the 6th, 7th hour. I'm thinking. If you fast forward, you'll see him, cause he had his camera on, so you'll see him like if you fast forward to it.
I'm gonna look for it right now.
Yeah, he went. Yeah, he came. I was surprised, like, damn, came through and shit. But he was even admitted he had some Negroes in his family. He said it.
No, I don't see that shit, man.
Yo, it's on there, bro. The one from last night. I ain't know it was that long though. Damn, 9 hours. Shit. It might not be because I ain't catch the whole thing at the end. I had something to do, but I did catch most of it. And what I caught, he was on that. It might not be all the way. It might be toward the middle. Then you see where they were playing the video though, right?
What, Rod Hayes video?
No, they ain't play that. I don't know if they played that. I didn't see that part, but they did play the No Jumper joint.
Nah, I didn't see that. I mean, I see it now. That's like 3 hours in.
Yeah, it was after that. It's after the No Jumper joint. Then the dude, he came through.
All right, let's see if we can find it, y'all, man. Everybody mute up, man. We're going to lock in real quick. Everybody hit that like button. Let's find this holiday drop.
Shout out, you know, the winner that.
Dude, I won't be able to show Luke.
There you go.
Oh, there's my guy. He's on.
So everybody, you know, like I said, we're gonna, you know, benefit.
Salute to the God. Salute to the God, American Cholo.
We ain't salute no motherfucking Mexicans over here, man. Get your ass on here and speak your piece.
Man, we doing great, man. Let me show my motherfucking fight for you could be able to see your G, man, because this is real, man. You know, fuck that shit, man. Hold up. I get on my knees, man. Do what I got to do real quick before I can show the God what's up.
DJ Cuddy, man. Shout out to DJ Cuddy, man.
You already know, man. You already know, man. Me and my brother Chief Holiday gets it in on a regular, man. And we seen that little clip that was circulating to make brothers look bad and shit, and it really worked, man. And we don't like being manipulated, man. And once we seen the other side of it, which you guys on No Jumper, courtesy of my brother Supreme Chief Holiday, man, it put it in perspective, and we wanted to show respect.
Thank you, man. It's a mutual thing. I've been going around doing my rounds. I've had so many brothers hit me up and talk to me and told me, man, Gil, man, I saw the thing. You know, I'm sorry, and I tell them the same thing. You know, I apologize for my end. It was a learning lesson for everybody, and it was something that unfortunately, I mean, we talk about Adam. I think Adam knew what he was doing, because even after
this music gotta cut, man. They gotta cut that music out in a conversation like this, man. Seriously, they gotta cut this.
Released the actual video and sent it to them. It still stayed up until the day we got there, and then that next day he took it down. So to me, that's just a white man trying to put us against each other, man. And it's a damn shame, and I'm sick and tired of being at each other's throats, man. I'm trying to make us have these conversations that we haven't had, that we need to have, because we've been killing each other 50 years, man. And it's about time Brown and Black realize that we are stronger together. But the key is communication, man. And put your ego to the side. And I'm not sitting here going around telling people now, motherfuckers, I tell you, no, man, that's bullshit, man. Just like I can put my ego to the side and apologize for my end, I will accept anybody's apology, because that's what men do, homeboy.
And you didn't even, hey man, we're a total different community, you know what I'm saying? So it's like you probably didn't even have no idea of what our little fledgling things and words and criticisms was about, but we did. So it was imperative and incumbent on us to make sure that you knew that, yo, we did things, and we want to also say that, yo, we want to show you respect.
Thank you so much.
Respect. It's more than an apology. That means relook at what you do, man, and that'll compel you to give the apologies that's necessary.
Thank you. I appreciate that, and to the fullest. Thank you for reaching out to me. I know off the bat when you see that anybody, I felt like the worst human being for a few days. I'm like, dude, what is this? No, even I'm looking at this, but I knew in my heart that it was fake. My granddaughter's biracial, my daughter is biracial, but it's just the narrative. And the thing is, we used to be as hotheads. Go ahead.
Good to see you, my brother. Hey, salute to the American flag right there over the top of you right there, brother.
Yeah, because we are American.
Hey, we are the American Cholo, baby.
Nice to meet you, my brother.
That's right.
I just wanted to, we cool on all the stuff that's happened with the ER and all that. Nigga, we can say nigga over here. And you know what I mean? I want to get back to that word too later, but what I want to address with you is, we seen a clip. You and two other people on the platform. We were talking about reparations.
Yes.
Right. Now, are you aware of social constructs or caste systems, brother?
I am not as aware as you, as I'm sure you guys are, and let me kind of put everything into perspective. That was a video also when I just put these mics up and said let's have this conversation. That's during the BLM time, right, when everything was hot and heavy as far as it. But like I've said to many people, and I'll say it again, listen. Only because I have a difference of opinion than somebody else doesn't mean I'm against you. You know, I had a brother tell me, "Man, you're racist. You're against the reparations."
Reparations, though. But you said that Native Americans and Mexicans, for instance, and you're Honduras, and I want to get to that.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because when we talk about this caste system, right? We know that the original people of Honduras, Mexico, California, the Americas are Negroes. Are you aware of that?
Well, that's what I hear.
Are you aware that the original people?
Me personally,
you gotta come on, brother.
Me personally, I don't believe that. I know you're going with the almanac stuff. I know where you guys are coming from.
Right,
but you know what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to get an actual scientist to come in here and do a podcast with us so we can go through because.
I'm a scientist.
Yeah, but
you're talking about an independent. Of course, I know what you're talking about, Gil.
No. He's talking to a scientist right now. What
I know
what
that.
we're about to do is I'm about to edify him, though.
You've got about 5 minutes. I gotta take my wife out to dinner.
You said your granddaughter is biracial. Are you aware that you're biracial?
Absolutely. We're mixed. We're absolutely mixed. Yes.
Who are you mixed with?
I would say I'm probably mixed with for sure I'm mixed with some kind of Mayan. I'm for sure mixed with some kind of Spaniard. I'm for sure mixed with some African American and some Asian. So I'm sure something like that in European.
So the Mayan or the African American.
Sure. So that means that we know that Spaniards are from Europe and that they came. So you are aware that that's one mixture that you do have in your bloodline, correct?
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, man. Y'all better put some fucking respect on my brother Chief Holiday name. He's the fucking GOAT. Any vital conversation, it seemed like the last few conversations that went on No Jumper, the niggas who was on there came on Chief Holiday platform. Get that nigga the motherfucking some round of applause. Show my nigga Chief Holiday the GOAT some motherfucking love in the chat. He the GOAT for that reason, man. For this reason here, man.
For sure. I know where you're going with this, by the way.
Right. So the
most definitely. Right? We're grown. But check this out. We're trying to edify a lot of people, man, because what we do on this is we teach a lot. So go ahead, Chief. Go ahead, Chief.
But none of that, though, we can show it. And this is healing, though, because if he understands the truth, then we wouldn't have these type of misunderstandings that we see as disrespectful when people say, hey, that the Native Americans, right, or Mexicans should get something before us when we're the original people, brother.
To be completely honest with you, I'm the guy that says I'm not looking to give anybody anything because right now, because I'm not trying to get my taxes to go higher. And that's a fact. It has nothing to do with.
Speaking of taxes,
yes,
right? Are you aware that the Constitution says that they're not supposed to be taxing Indians, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, Indians is a descriptive term of dark people. If you look it up, you can see what it is. And we're talking about the original people here. The Negroes shouldn't be taxed. So would you be opposed to the American Negro not being taxed or enumerated by this government, brother? Would you be opposed to that?
Absolutely. If you guys stop paying taxes, then my taxes are going through the roof. It's like, let's be real. I mean, to get millions of people to not paying taxes, I think that would be something.
Are your taxes going through the roof right now based off of the money that they're sending to Ukraine, brother?
I don't.
I think we are.
I think I paid more taxes in the last year than I've ever paid before. Yes.
Yeah.
And that has to do with the
I think we all have.
What about the laws of the land that not
that has to do with the stimulus?
Let my man Chief go in, big baby. Shout out to DJ Cuddy, man. You're killing them. Shout out to Cut. Cut, you gotta let my man Chief go in. This is where Chief do what Chief do. This is amazing right here. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. If y'all enjoying the live stream, hit the like button. If you're enjoying the build, thumb up the video, support the channel. Links to the Cash App and PayPal is at the bottom of the screen, ticking across. I appreciate everybody for tapping in. Let's continue to live.
Let me tell you this.
Look.
Let me tell you this. It seems like I'm one individual with my own ideas, right?
Right.
But like when I told the brother today, we were having this conversation. I told him, listen, and I'm not saying you are yourself. I said to the brother, you're putting so much energy on myself not being for it. But if you really want to look at it, go look at the Democrats, look at the Republicans. They're not talking about it. They're the ones that are going to pass all these laws. What me, myself, I'm just one person. If I don't hear one president talking about any of this, I don't hear one senator talking about any of this. So once those guys start talking about that, then you and I can have this conversation, because then it'll really matter. But right now, those guys ain't even talking about this.
Okay, hey, Chief. Let me go ahead, because he's limited on time. We want to respect. I really do appreciate you, Gil, for stopping through. And of course, these are some conversations. Obviously, we've been wanting to have for a long time. Don't mean to bombard you, but I do have one question from one of our panelists, the CEO. Tell me something. Do you have something? I'm not. Please forgive me if I say this wrong, but do you have what's known as a abuela, a black abuela?
Oh, a black abuela?
Yeah.
You know what? I don't know if the abuela is black, but my grandfather looks. I got a picture of it. I showed to Caleb.
Okay, got
you. His brother, so the grandpa. Yeah, there's definitely. I'm from Honduras, so there's definitely. And my tias, I got tias that definitely are. We call them negritas. We call them negritas, and that's respectful.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Hey, and it doesn't actually, because they call the Filipinos that negritos as well.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I understand when you say it's not really a bitch. I got you.
Cut, you saved this Mexican's life, boy. Cut, you lucky I wasn't on this motherfucker. I would have said, Cut, let Chief get this. He going solo. Rambo mode in this motherfucker.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Exactly.
We'll tap in with that conversation later. You guys have a good one. God bless. And
thank you very much, Gil. And give all love to Bozo on them. Hey, man, that was awesome that he even stopped through. But, Chief, and I understand you want to get it all in. Hey, answer this. Answer that. Hey, man.
I'm just going to get trying to get into some important, some of them important ones, y'all.
I know. Hey, but CEO came up with that question, and I actually was asking about that the other day. You know what I'm saying? And I really I appreciate Gil once again.
Shout out to Chief Holiday for asking the tough questions. And he was in the hot seat. He had to get out of there. Cut saved him. Chief was about to get on that ass, and it was about to go down there, boy. It was about to show and expose these true Mexicans. Shout out to everybody that been with the dope. Tell Chief to go, man.
It's the GOAT. That's it. I thought you had seen that joint. I was like, I know AP about to go in on this joint right here.
I was supposed to be on the panel. I had the link. I was supposed to be on there. I got busy yesterday.
Okay.
I was supposed to be on that fucking. That's the second one I missed. I was supposed to be on the last.
Yeah, you missing a good joint, so they be going in.
I done missed two of them motherfuckers, man. But yeah, man, shout out to everybody in the building, man. I ain't gonna hold y'all up for too longer, man. This was a dope live stream. Shout out to everybody that came on the panel, man. Root words, nonetheless. Who else we have on here?
111 True.
111 True. Who else? It was somebody
Anglo-Saxon or something.
Yeah, shout out to everybody for coming through, man. Shout out to everybody.
Anglo-Saxon.
Root, cut it out. That nigga Root was messy to the motherfucker, boy. Hey, man, shout out to everybody in the building. Drop a fire emoji in the chat before y'all go, man. Let me know that y'all enjoying the build before y'all go. Drop a fire emoji. Hit the like button if you have not hit the like button. Once again, for those that want to purchase the pay-per-view before you go, information for the pay-per-view is in the description box. This up-and-coming Sunday, August the 7th, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Aboriginal Power, Autonomous One, Jaguar Omeg presents American Gods, the pay-per-view. Make sure y'all tap in and support the channel. If y'all have not supported the channel, Cash App and PayPal information is at the bottom of the screen ticking across. Make sure y'all send in a donation. Support the channel, man. we most consistent with it, man. We come with the real topics, we covering all information, and we challenging the narrative. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Shout out to all the American Aborigines. Peace and love to all y'all. Make sure y'all be safe. Make sure y'all be aware. Make sure y'all be vigilant. Make sure y'all be dangerous. This your brother Aboriginal Power, and we out. Peace.
Suave on the track.
Whatever it takes.
Hold on, before we get out of here, we got DJ Cuddy want to get on the panel. Shout out to my brother DJ Cuddy on the motherfucking panel, man. Shout out to DJ Cuddy. Come on, man. Hey, Chief Holiday, come on, man. Let's talk about that classic y'all put together last night, man. How about y'all hit that link, man? How about y'all both hit that fucking link? DJ Cuddy in the building, man. Shout out to DJ Cuddy, man.
Shout out to everybody, man. You know what I'm saying? Look. Hey, man, I understand everybody say I saved the brother and all this, but like I said, man, to Chief, man, I'm going to tell you, man, I just feel like this right here, we all, our all ultimate goal is to actually be able to edify and educate people with the education that they lack, obviously. I'm thinking that's the main objective. And when he came on to the show, he said he had to leave with his wife. Yo, we can't keep on bombarding people with this if we want to have a proper dialogue. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, sometimes we got to be able to build with them, build a relationship, and then be able to get into the dialogue. You know what I'm saying? We can't. I just feel like just jumping on people all the time, man. We alienate people, and then we become alienated. That's all my point is. I ain't here to say nobody. You know what I'm talking about? But I am trying to help us get our shit done. Oh, I'm listening to you, AP.
Yeah, that's actually a good approach, looking at it from that point of view. You know, analyze, build a common relationship goal or common ground, be able to go to a mutual platform, maybe even to their platform or a larger platform with these particular fellas to have the deeper dialogue. So, yeah, that is a good perspective as well to look at.
Yeah, I just ain't trying to run these motherfuckers off, you know what I'm saying? Because we ultimately got to have a build to where we can edify and educate, and once they learn that way, we can see once they got the education and you know what I'm saying, then we can see the merits of the man, whether or not he gonna deny truth. That's all I'm on. I just don't want to run everybody off.
No, that's real, but in that conversation, boy, he was on the hot seat, and I ain't gonna lie, he was on that motherfucker. Chief was on him. No bullshit. Chief was on his ass. But I don't think Chief was being rude neither, though. I don't think Chief was coming off ignorant or argumentative at all. I think he just had very deliberate questions for the brother because he had a lot to say on that other platform. So he's equipped to answer those very deliberate questions. That's all I feel like. You know, I feel like Chief had some very, very, very good questions lined up for him. That was significant based off of the conversation that he had priorly to the No Jumper platform. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, it was a dope, man. Both approaches are both needed.
Right. And you know, me and Chief, man, we trying to balance. We trying to work with balance. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Hey, he the bad cop. we working our balance out. You know what I'm saying? Hey, what'd you say, Chief?
Bad robber, man. Not bad cop, bad robber.
Bad robber. He said bad robber. And you know, like I said, we coined a new phrase. This is for all the family, especially you, Big AP. This is not racism. This is historianism.
Yeah, man. See, my mission statement is to enlighten my people. And like I said, everybody in this community that has large platforms and following may have their own mission statement. My mission statement.
That's right.
My mission statement hasn't changed. My mission statement is to wake up my peoples in the most dire, deprived, indoctrinated areas of North America. You see what I'm saying? My job is really not to build with nobody else, but I appreciate everybody else other lane that does not necessarily is my mission statement. All mission statements is welcome and needed for the process and the growth of the Aboriginal people in North America. Okay, So all processed plans is the same. So everybody, like you said, y'all gotta just work on y'all balance. Y'all both have different angles that y'all come.
Hey, I'm about to get on up out of here, man. I love y'all, man. I gotta get ready for the next show, man. Hey, you Ab. Hey, give me a call later, man, so I can build with you, man, so I can make sure I do what I need to do for you.
You already know, DJ Cuddy, man. Make sure y'all get that show cracking. I'll send everybody.
Love.
Y'all going live right now?
Nah, in a few hours, in a couple hours.
Okay, well, yeah, y'all get ready for the DJ Cuddy and Supreme Chief Holiday Show, man. Y'all tap
Salute, family.
Shout out to DJ Cuddy, man. Peace. Shout out to DJ Cuddy, man. Always coming through, man. DJ Cuddy. The best to do it if you ever knew it. With that being said, man, peace and love to all American Aborigines. Make sure y'all be safe. Make sure y'all be aware. Make sure y'all be vigilant. Make sure y'all be dangerous. Stay dangerous. It's your brother Aboriginal Power. We out. Peace.
Suave on the track.
Whatever it takes. The alleyway.
Coco, this your season right now.
They won't see me. They won't let me hear. I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping, making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the eyes wanna murder. I got a feeling deep my stomach, paranoid, yeah. I won't let them, yeah. They won't see me, yeah. I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping, making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the eyes wanna murder. I got a feeling deep my stomach, paranoid, yeah. I can't let them, yeah. They won't see me, yeah. I put attention, all in my blood, all in my veins. They started with perky, now that hair on them is veins. You started with serving, now them drugs drove you insane. Started with dealing, I grew up with killers, they taught me the game. I got some niggas that die behind, and that shit won't never the same. I know some niggas that lie behind, and that bullet had his name. Ain't no reason to cry about, cause that shit won't never change. MTF the 4th and P, my niggas can't get out the game. I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping, making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the stern. I know the eyes wanna murder. I got a feeling deep my stomach, paranoid, yeah. I won't let them, yeah. They won't see me, yeah. I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping, making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the stern. I know the eyes wanna murder. I got a feeling deep my stomach, paranoid, yeah. I can't let them, yeah. They won't see me, yeah.